Whoa.
Oh. See how I do that?
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. You came in like Barry White.
I'm really open right now because I did a whole bunch of yoga. I feel fantastic. You, on the other hand, ate a whole bunch of sugar and dough, and you're washing it down with your third cup of coffee. Third cup of coffee.
I feel great, great. My body loves sugar.
He's on a sugar high.
Maple sugar.
Everybody wait for him in about a half hour. He's on a sugar high right now. He's feeling fantastic. And a half hour, his head will hit the desk.
Donuts in my face.
Yep. You love yourself a donut. Special K brought us some donuts, and I ate one, a good old chocolate glaze. Can't say no to one. I just can't say no to one.
You put it in front of me, I can't do it.
You ate 2.5.
2.5.
But you're a big guy, so it's kind of like one for you.
Nah, not really. It was 2.5, Brian.
Yeah.
Two donuts is 2 donuts.
You flip out when it comes to food. You'll flip out. You just lose your shit.
Only
sometimes.
Sweets.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm good. You put pizza in front of me. Burgers, I'm pretty good.
They say that our brain is wired for that kind of behavior, like naturally.
Depends how you grow up.
Well, but it's also, they say that our brain is also wired to hoard and eat immediately because we have memory of not having enough food, so you eat when food is available.
Really?
Yes.
I've never starved in my life.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. There's the genetic memory of not having a lot of food.
You think?
Yes, they've done a lot of studies on it. And people are also predisposed most of the time to have some kind of an addiction.
Well, we're predisposed to it because the culture we live in, and it's a sugar-filled culture.
But I'm saying that there's also a biology to it. There's also a biology.
You think even now?
They say that there's a biology to like being hoarding, to doing it now, to watch children. Children don't have built-in self-control mechanisms. They have to be taught them.
Yeah, but also the I want it now, it needs to come now. That's the society, right? That's the Generation X.
Yeah,
like back in the day, it really wasn't like that.
Well,
like kids want now, satisfaction now. They want success overnight.
But that's also because back in the day, you didn't have access to things that were right now. So you like most of history, human history, is amazing because people spent. You could probably sum it all up with most people just never had enough to eat. Typically. You just didn't have enough to eat. And when you did have enough to eat, you ate really boring shit. Like you'll have milk and potatoes for the entire winter.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Or actually it would be cheese. That's all.
But they also didn't have the allergies we have now.
Probably because they weren't eating as much.
And process.
And it wasn't as processed.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very true. But then the question remains, how would you rather live with some allergies and plenty of food, or basically never enough food? That was what was tough. If you think about how
called evolving,
but if you think, like somebody was talking about how we have it so much better than we ever did. People are like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, let's just start with the fact you don't have to bury your children on a regular basis. People had to bury their children on a regular
Who'd you have that
fucking
conversation
basis.
with?
It's true.
How's it going, Brian? God, man, good thing we don't have to bury our kids on a regular basis.
Dude, you'll love this story.
I'm like, oh, thanks.
You know Taye Diggs, the actor?
Yeah.
So I'm at this Easter thing with him. He's got his kid. I'm there with my kid. This is 2 Easters ago. He's a great guy. He's such a nice guy. And he's friends with a friend of my family's. So, a friend of my wife's. So I'm talking to him, and I say something. I don't know why I did this, but I go like this. I go, we're so lucky, huh? And he goes, yeah, man. I go, no, I mean, just the fact that we can feed our children. And
you're that guy.
Yeah, I
God
go,
damn it.
And I'm saying this, and he goes, yeah, man. And I go, I mean, typically, we'd probably watch our children, starve or get a disease and die. And he goes, hey, man. Yeah, great talking to you on Easter. Happy Easter. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. And he kind of walked away.
Yeah, why would you
And he's
do
such
that?
a nice guy.
Why
I was
would
just
you do
kind of.
that? You're that guy.
I was making
Man, aren't we
conversation.
lucky? We're not in a sex trade or something like
I
that.
know.
It's like, God, fucking relax, man.
I know.
You've never come from hardship. Don't bring that
Doesn't matter.
shit
I
on
can
me.
imagine hardship.
Not really.
Yes, I can.
How?
I just imagine it. I watch Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and things sucked back
I'll tell you what. Last night, fucking the premiere of True Detectives.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
And?
Did you see it or no?
Nope.
You didn't see it because you're too excited. Did you?
It
Anyone else
might
see
be
it?
a little overrated.
And Ballers.
I saw Ballers. We'll get to Ballers.
I need to hear about both.
So True Detectives.
Don't give anything away. Just tell us what.
Well, I mean, the entire nation watched it. But True Detectives, it's so slow. There's so many plot lines. I literally watched it, could not wait for it to end. I was like, God damn it.
Boy. All right, but is that to be fair? Is that they're setting it up? So you have to have
the
some
last one
patience.
started off a little slow, but I don't know how they're gonna do it, man.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, man.
Way too many. There's so many
storylines.
storylines. Yeah. And it was.
Oh, you're telling me you're gonna go out and get hammered drunk to the point you're getting kicked out of bars and shit, and then you're gonna show up on a crime scene 20 minutes later,
and you're
looking totally fine.
And you're a cop, detective.
Nuh-uh.
All of them.
What was your main takeaway from that episode? Because I
Colin
got one takeaway.
Colin Farrell's a badass.
Okay, mine was
actor.
Rachel McAdams has got a hell of an ass on her.
I agree. I'm with you.
Didn't see that coming.
She's hot. She looks short, but she's super hot.
She's not short.
Fine with me.
Doesn't matter. She's about 5'6".
That's cool. Sign me up.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
And then So True Detective, I'm sure it'll get good. But then Ballers, they covered every cliche ever with a black athlete.
Really?
Like I was watching, I was like, oh, it's embarrassing.
Oh no. But
he's like, yo, dog, I need money, man. I spent all my money. Rock's like, you a first round draft pick. You got $300 million. You spent it already? He's all, yeah, man, I need a loan. Shows up in a Ferrari. He's like, damn, dog, where'd you get this? Cash only, homie. I was like, oh God, it was embarrassing.
So who does The Rock play?
Rock's a retired NFL football player who works for this agency, and this does happen. I know guys like this. He works for a major agency that signs talent, football players. Mm-hmm. So The Rock has all these talents. Or not talents. He has all these relationships with current players. Yeah. So he's like, yo, man, like he's buddies with them. But it's the.
Do you have a lot?
I
saw Dhani Jones, a couple pro players who are actually making cameos, right?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. Steven Jackson. There's a bunch of them.
Deshaun Jackson was in there.
Yeah,
there's a bunch. It's just every cliche. It's like so.
I was hoping for a lot more.
Yeah, me too.
It was a giant stereotype.
It was a giant stereotype of professional athletes.
Oh boy.
Like this one. I mean,
it's got potential.
It has some potential. Maybe it just needs to move on. Maybe. I don't know, man.
So
like this one girl's like, aren't you whatever Jake Owens from the San Francisco 49ers? She's like, that's right, girl. Pants them fucking in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then some white guy's like, yo, man, you's a baby. And then he punches him in the mouth. He's like, we got to get out of here. And they jump in the car. And he calls his agent.
I will say that the first time I ever knew what pro athletes who are superstars deal with from the opposite sex was I was with David Blaine. I was a young guy. And it was after Mark Messier won the Stanley Cup, the Rangers. And I this is embarrassing to say, but I didn't know who he was.
Mark Messier?
I didn't. I'm that much of an idiot.
Damn.
But I was looking at him going, I've never forgot this. I was looking at his back and his forearms, and I was like, this guy's a fucking stud. Like he just looked like an athlete. And I was like, but these impossibly beautiful girls. I was 20, I don't know, let's call it 24 or 20. And I was looking at these girls. I'd never seen girls this hot in person, like ever. And I was like, oh my God. And they were all over him and his buddy. And then David was there. David Blaine was kind of not yet famous.
So he's like doing card tricks in the back.
Well,
hey, everybody.
He was just kind of hanging out.
Nickel behind your ear? They're like, get the fuck out of here, man.
And now a dove. And here's a bunny. No, he wasn't. He was kind of hanging out.
My pants. Oh, who the fuck got this guy?
Well, he was friends with Mark, and I was like, and then I realized who it was. It was Mark Messier. I think I was told by David or something. And that was the first time when I realized that there are people that live a lifestyle that I can't even fucking imagine. Like whenever we judge, like if you judge somebody who's in the limelight, somebody who's got a lot of money and they fuck up or whatever. Like, okay, this guy was in a jacuzzi with this really hot girl and he ended up cheating on his wife and stuff. Oh, what a dirtbag and all that. You got to be a little careful because if you could see what those guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've been around this. If you could see what these guys deal with on a daily basis, the constant and ferocious assault on their character.
We always say, we talk about this, there's no guy who has a Nike clothing deal as an athlete and just wears one pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's like, my friend Leo's joke. Leo Flowers.
There's no guy.
Nobody has $100 million. Nobody wants $100 million in the bank, 5 Super Bowl rings, 4 houses, and just one girlfriend.
One car. He said like cars, right?
Yeah.
Like I love my Porsche. The Porsche is literally my dream car. I'd like to drive a Bentley too every now and then.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind jumping in a Ferrari.
Ambition cuts all the way across the board. It's a whole spectrum.
You
want everything.
You don't become a professional athlete by being just content with what you got. Hate to say it, man. It's a curse. It's a curse.
Yeah. You have strong and big appetites. and when you have a certain status and things are available all the time, I would imagine it becomes difficult because with athletes especially, and I've talked to some pretty high-profile athletes about this, they're also good-looking guys. Like, so women, not only do you have a lot of money and status and celebrity, typically when you're a big-time athlete like Mark Sanchez or someone, you're also the best-looking guy in the room. Add that to the mix. Add the fact that you're 6'3", 230, and girls just want to have sex with you.
It never stops. Like, I was at a Super Bowl party years ago, probably 4 years ago, and I'm not going to call them out. They're married dudes. 2 Hall of Famers. 2 of the greatest quarterbacks to ever grace the gridiron.
Yeah.
I'm with them, and they're hammered. I'm like tipsy. Yeah. They're hammered. And these girls are walking by, and the comments they were making, I was like, good Lord, fellas, that's assault, brother. Like, we're getting in trouble here. Yeah. But you can tell it's just what they do.
Oh, yeah.
And
animals.
Oh, yeah. And it worked.
Oh, yeah.
For them, it worked. I was like, wait, that worked? You're old as fuck,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, man.
You telling me that Vinny Testaverde couldn't take it down right now at 51 years old?
Well, he looks good.
Yeah.
It wasn't Vinny Testaverde.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a guy like that who's 51, there are plenty of women in their 20s.
Well, think about L.A. You go to L.A. I was out to dinner the other night. There's some old as fuck dude. Just, you could tell his balls hang down to his knees.
Yep.
Just hairs saying, see ya.
Yep.
You can tell he hired a stylist. He shouldn't dress like he's that young. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He just looked like shit, but you can tell he's worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has this hot girl next to him.
Yep.
So, and we see it all the time in L.A.
All the time.
Hot girls put up with it because they have access to the money. And
I would even argue that they're attracted to. Sometimes they're attracted to the guy because he's kind of a big old ogre.
Says the old creepy guy.
Well,
no, they're not, Bryan.
Oh, well,
they're not. They're only attracted to his money.
Well, I'd like to.
And then it's all fun and games till you got to sleep with that old bastard. And finally, he's like, "Listen, bitch, I bought you all these purses. You've driven all the cars. It's time to get on this old dick." And they're like, "God,
I know I got gray hair coming out of my rump.
I know my bush is gonna be in your face. It's gonna blind you a little bit, but
don't mind my snow white pubis, my snow white pubic bush.
We always say this: you're paying for it one way or another.
Yes, you are. However, my wife, Don Johnson, great guy. I mean, blah blah blah.
Way better looking than you. You know that, right?
Well, he's a little older now.
Yeah,
and he's
making major roles too.
Yeah, probably not in the greatest shape. He's a little, he's older.
Don Johnson,
60 or whatever.
Yeah.
My wife was literally like, she was lusting him. She was humping him with her eyes, like right in front of me. I was like, excuse me.
Well,
like,
that's Miami
really
Vice.
Hot. I know. She goes, he's really hot.
He's also.
But he's 60. I mean, I'm saying that there are women who are younger who find older men, like even at 60.
Celebrities, Bryan. Well, I'm talking old Scrooge
You gotta have
McDuck.
power. You gotta have power.
You have power and celebrity.
Power
And
and
girls can take fame for being hot.
Yes.
You're way off on this.
Fame is
I'm
an
talking
aphrodisiac.
old dudes. Look at Sterling, right? What's his first name?
How about Jerry Buss?
Donald Sterling. Look at Donald Sterling.
How about Jerry Buss? I've seen Jerry Buss. I've taken 2 planes with Jerry Buss, and I've seen him with. I'm sure they were just assistants. Yeah. But they were delicious, and they were in their mid-20s, not their late 20s, their mid-20s. And obviously I'm sure that every assistant wears a very tiny skirt like that and high heels. The point is that
this is the thing. If you look at a girl's Instagram and she's not famous, she's not a celebrity, and this isn't all cases, but you look at their Instagram, they have 100,000 followers, whatever, 200,000 followers, and you're like, how the fuck is she on a boat in Dubai? That's a giant boat. But then it's just her. She's just like duck lips. Like, how the fuck is she on a private plane? This is crazy.
She worked for the money. She got a job there. She's working in a restaurant in Dubai.
True detective, but I'm no detective. I think I know what's going on.
Any model will tell you. Any model will tell you that if a woman spends some time in Dubai and she's hot.
Remember that girl I was dating?
Yeah.
I was dating this girl, and she goes, smoke show, right?
My wife will set you straight on that. My wife has plenty of
did.
friends who went off to Dubai.
Yeah. I was dating this girl, this is years ago, and she goes, oh, I got to go to Dubai to work. I'm like, to work? She's like, yeah, I have this new product launching, and I got to go to Dubai for it. I'm like, oh, cool.
A new product?
What product? She's like, it's like this app. I'm like, oh, and you're launching in Dubai? She's like, yeah, I'll be gone for like 3 months. Mm-hmm. And then comes back after 3 months, just Scrooge McDuck rich, loaded.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
How many apps did you sell? And then 2 weeks later, we weren't that serious, so I didn't really give a shit what she was doing. And then she's like, 2 weeks later, she's like, oh, I'm actually going to move to Dubai. I haven't seen her since.
Dubai is where you go.
Never came back.
Dubai, it's like basketball players who don't make it in the NBA and they go to Europe and play.
Yeah.
Dubai is exactly the same thing. Models who actually don't do it in Paris, Italy, and New York, and they end up going to Dubai to make a little extra cash. Okay, just posing and doing other things.
Doing something strange for a little bit of change.
It's as old as time. It's as old as time.
Old as time, I guess.
It is. I'm so tempted to tell a story right now.
Well, it's weird. I have this buddy. I'm not going to call him out. He'd kill me. But he's my buddy in Denver, and he's older. He's 45, and he's single. He's never been married. He's always been single. He's always making the worst choices in women all the time.
I love guys like that.
He's the best. He's literally the best.
But makes the worst choices. He shows up with, I have a friend like this.
And so he was all sad because he meets a girl and he moves her in, right? He's very wealthy.
God.
He moves her in right away. And I'm like, well, dude, this is a bad idea, I feel like. He's like, no, this is the one, blah, blah, blah. Pan, 6 months later, they break up. He's all sad. So I go, bro, you're just making the wrong fucking choices. I said, you're 44,
over and
45.
Over and over.
And he goes, what can I do, man? I'm attracted to 22-year-old girls. I go, we all are.
Right.
Everyone is.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to wife them up.
Don't wife them up. Don't move them in, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, if you're looking for a serious relationship, she has got to be over 30. That's your bottom line, 30.
There's a famous actor you and I both know, and we were talking, and he said, I like this girl. I can't figure it out. I go, well, what'd she do? And he goes, she's cool. She's from my hometown. I like her a lot. I go, what does she do? She goes, well, she's a playmate. She's 21. And I was like, bro, we have to stop everything. You can't go further than that. You know, just I have two friends in particular that date, especially a really close friend who dates. I mean, he'll show up with this. It's like, bro,
it's a grenade.
It's like
the grenade to the party.
It's almost like that girl has a massive head wound. You can't see it, but I can tell you that she's a complete fucking cuckoo bird. Her brain right now is going gang, 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 and she's pretending to be normal until you move her in, which you're gonna do in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
she's
seconds.
In.
5 seconds, she's in. And did you buy her a ring?
Bro, remember
three girls
remember
rings,
that time
three girls. It turns out to be it's a year to 2 years of complete insanity.
Hell.
Like literally where he's almost hitting her, and I'm like, bro, you can't
do that.
She's making you that crazy.
Remember that time I brought that freaking smoke show to the Laugh Factory, and there's like a party upstairs, and it's all older people. I'm thinking this guy, and she dressed like we were going to the fucking Oscars. She has this
that was hilarious.
Red dress on.
Oh my God.
Titties out for
dragging
days.
on the ground. I was like, well, excuse me, Jessica Rabbit.
We walk in, and it's just like all our closest friends. These celebrities I don't know, some a little embarrassed. We're all sitting around.
You may as well walked in with a torch. Like you may as well just.
I might as well walked in with just giant horns sticking out. Everyone's like, I was like, oh fuck, man.
I remember that. We're all like comics. Everybody's kind of hanging out, and in walks just fucking voom. Like, here are my tits, everybody. Everybody's like, huh? Anybody want to jump in the middle of my cleavage and just fucking go for a swim?
I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. And then she's acting weird because we can't say names. Another celebrity comes up. She's acting real weird. And she's like, oh, my God, that is my ex-boyfriend. Remember that? She's like, that's my ex-boyfriend. I was like, oh, God. Can you please just leave?
Yeah, it was so
God
weird.
Damn it.
It was so awkward. I was like, of course he's your ex-boyfriend. Everybody's your ex-boyfriend. You know?
I picked her up. I was like, what?
She was wearing a
Did you
gown.
come from the Academy Awards? Yeah. We're going to the Laugh Factory.
Why is your gown dragging on the ground behind you by 6 feet?
And then they're like, do you want anything to drink? She goes, do you have any champagne? And they're like, what? At the Laugh Factory, bitch.
In a tall stem glass, please. Thank you so much.
Oh,
do you have any champagne and crystal?
Oh, God, that was awkward.
Well,
I felt like just I wish I could just shrink my size down and just fucking take
off. My buddy, he's a comic. You know who he is.
I don't care what we're talking about.
I know. And
I wish you could say names.
I know.
It'd be so much funnier for everyone.
Oh, and
because this girl's ex-boyfriend, I'm a huge fan of, and he was like, oh, fuck this dude. And I was like, hey, man, he hates me, I'm sure now.
Well, my buddy would show up with this complete look, you know me, man. I don't judge anybody, and I love it. If you're a mess, God bless you. You're always welcome. But I'd be there with my wife, and another person would be there with their girl. And when you have like women that are your women, right? Like who are like normal and they raise your kids, if you bring one of those, if you bring a pro into that mix, it's gonna be weird, and
you can't do that.
My buddy would bring in these just straight up turbo hookers, like just they were barely wearing they were wearing pasties, fucking pasties. She walks in and I look at her, I go, oh Christ, she's just got a thong. You can see it through her impossibly tight pants. And he goes like this.
Her.
Now he gets embarrassed and he goes like this. He goes, hey, button your shirt up, button your shirt up. She goes, huh? He goes, button your shirt up. He goes, doesn't have any buttons. He goes, well, fucking close it up or something. And he goes, hey, everybody, this is, he forgets her name. And he goes,
oh, that's the worst.
She goes, I'm Rachel.
You don't realize it. You don't realize that when you date those type of girls or bring those girls around, when you bring them to like a family barbecue, you're like, oh, fuck. They look like zebras around regular horses.
Dude.
You're like, oh, God.
You mean the time I showed up with a bunch of people who are so famous right now? And back in the day, I showed up. They're all they're all in heavy relationships, and they're all successful actors. And in walks Bryan with his stripper girlfriend. I'm like, hey, everybody, here's this girl who probably gave me gonorrhea on my couch.
I would say there's maybe I think my parents have met 3 girls I've ever dated.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't bring just anyone around Papa Shab. No way, man.
No.
He will shut that
shit down.
They didn't
want to I kind of lost a little bit of friendship with some of these people because the women were like...
They just don't respect you anymore.
I remember when Zach...
For sure, lighten up, though. Come on.
Zach Galifianakis...
Hey, come on.
Zach Galifianakis, I was hanging out with him, and I had these 2 girls with me, and he goes like this. We're talking, and they were complete tarts, and he looks at me, and he goes, Bryan, honestly... he goes, they're beautiful, I get it, but... Honestly,
I'm sorry they're not gonna fucking write a book we're all gonna love and enjoy. I'm not hanging out with them because I'm trying to learn something.
Right. I used to show up though with it was just so obvious. It was that they were.
It just depends.
Yeah.
Well, I was dating this girl and my dad flew out to California to meet her, and she got up to go to the bathroom. My dad was like, "What are you doing?" Literally, it was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, you remember that?
That's embarrassing.
I was like, "Huh?" He's like, stop."
Yeah.
Stop right now.
Just stop right now. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to date crazy. You can date, girls who are sexually, out of the box. It's all good.
Out of the box.
But when you date crazy, my problem is my buddy dates crazy.
Well, your buddy's a little crazy. Crazy is as crazy does.
That's true.
He's a little crazy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's no, look at me. That's 100%. I don't date crazy.
No.
I've dated crazy before, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
And how would you define crazy if I asked you to?
Bipolar, manic depressive.
But what does that mean? Like
bipolar? We'd go on vacation, and she has the face of a serial killer. I'm like, well, we're ziplining. This is pretty cool, right? And she just can't have fun. Yeah. And it's like, well, and usually girls think before guys like, all right, well, is this dude going to be a provider? How's he going to be with kids? Well, at my age, you think about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we're ziplining. I'm like, can you imagine her with kids?
Yeah.
Like this, what? 10 years from now?
No.
10 years from now?
That's why they say men look for, the most important thing is they look for a kind woman. Like they look for signs of kindness. And if you're cruel, that is the biggest turnoff. Like
100%.
Yeah.
Cruel or you can tell a lot by the way they treat freaking the valet, the waiter. Like I think I've told the story on this before. I was dating this girl, and we were at a Thai restaurant, and it was like a straight Thai place, right? The lady didn't speak very good English at all, and she told her what she wanted, and the lady's like, so my English isn't good, and she told her again, then she yelled at her. And then made fun of her. And I was like, oh, no. I got the food to go. I literally didn't talk to her again.
I call that the click. That's the click where you went, I just go click. Oh, I can't go back. I handcuff you like, oh.
You can never go back.
No,
you're like, oh, that's
you're a
that's how you are. Yeah.
You're
a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
There's also certain signs that happen too.
Yeah, but I think it's more than that. There are 2 things I fucking can't stand. One is crazy where people are literally living in a reality that they've invented for themselves, and they never really have any. They can't see who they really are. They're blind.
That's a huge issue.
They're blind to their condition, their actions that are creating that condition. They're just completely out of their mind. But here's the other thing I really can't stand, and that I can have pity for, where I see somebody who's crazy, and I go, well, you're not living in you've had to invent your own reality. and it's so weird. It's a house of cards, but maybe you had to do that because you were abused. Whatever it is,
those are like buying an old car, and it's going to take years to refurbish. Years, and even then, you're probably not going to find the right parts, so it's still not going to be normal.
That's more tragic. What I can't stand though is something I called entitlement. Where I see somebody who's like, she thinks she deserves things just because
usually hot girls.
Just because she's got a bone structure that cuts light well. And she has no idea not only how lucky she is, but how shitty it could be and how shitty other people have it. And it's not their fault. And she just happens to be hot and she's gotten a lot of attention and she's in her 20s and she acts like she's a little princess that she's done nothing to earn. She was just born with a certain look. I fucking lose my mind over that. That's where that usually is also paired with a lack of intelligence. She's just also a dummy.
She just doesn't know the world. She hasn't been hit with reality.
Yeah. I love an American Beauty.
I can't understand an uneducated girl either.
Well,
like I said, I don't need them to fucking win a Nobel Peace Prize.
Just be aware that
aware of society, culture at least.
Yeah, be aware of where your place is in the world and how lucky you are. Be aware that there are people that have it a lot worse than you. That's kind of the most important thing. And that comes from compassion. That also comes from having the ability to imagine how shitty somebody else's life is and then be like, I didn't really do anything to be born on third base, but I'm running home, and I'm lucky that I am that. Just have a little appreciation.
But also, if the girl see how she treats her parents, see how she talks to her parents. If she's real sarcastic and really mean, she's gonna be way worse with you.
Yeah,
such a turnoff.
I heard of
there. You go, finding the kid dating 101. Good luck, fellas.
101.
Good luck. Keep your ear to the ground. Keep your eyes straight forward.
Yeah.
But don't bring whores to family barbecues. More of the story.
I remember I brought a girl like that. My father looked at me.
You're going to go back there?
My father goes, Where's the other half of her dress? He goes, where's the other half of her dress?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was just wrapping that segment, but we can keep going if you want, man.
Oh, you were cutting me off.
Yeah, I was. We kind of.
You decided we kind of
killed
killed that horse.
They got
kind of beat that octopus to death.
That. I'll tell you what. I went to that movie Inside Out, the kids movie, the cartoon.
Good.
Did you? Well, it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time. For not being a sequel to it, beat out Avatar, which is crazy. Tell you who didn't like it, Big Brown.
Why?
Man, and I love those Pixar movies. They're literally my favorite movies.
Yeah, you have terrible taste in movies, of course.
I don't. I love them, man. Love them. And I thought the story was shit. I thought some of the examples they showed. If I had a kid, I would have walked out of there. In the movie, it's no spoiler, but in the movie, she runs away from home and she steals money out of her mom's. She steals her mom's credit card. She's 11. I mean, it can't be a good message for kids. Just the whole story, I was just bored with it, man. Usually I love them. They're my favorite. It's killing it. I bet you see some criticism on it,
It's gotten good reviews, I believe.
Yeah, it's killing it. I don't know. Wasn't a fan, man.
Pixar.
Hold. You don't see movies.
Sometimes in our show, we just like to give ourselves a little silence.
Pretty quiet, man.
Yeah. Feels good, though, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good? I think, hold on. There it is.
Did you have fun on the companion with Rogan? That was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Those fights. We didn't know. We looked at the fight card. Literally, everyone was like, man, never heard of him.
Joanna, man.
Joanna, JJ.
God damn, she's a
JJ
beast.
tore it up.
A beast. I've been eating the eggs that Joe Rogan gave me from his chicken coop. I got to tell you something.
They're nice.
Best eggs I've ever had.
I agree.
I don't know what it is.
I agree.
The yolk is super, super orange. And
they look different and taste different.
I fried them up in butter and I ate the flip out of them.
Dude, how about Joe went hunting? You guys probably didn't see the companion.
It's a manly
he
thing.
shot a fucking brown bear, black bear?
A black bear with a
bow
and arrow.
Put it over his shoulders and walked out of the forest.
250-pound bear.
And it was how far? Like 20-something
200
miles?
yards. 200 yards.
Oh.
Still a long way.
Yeah.
Because they were going to figure out how do we drag this, and he goes, that's going to take a long time. He goes, just put it on my back.
He needs to frame that picture.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot the bear with a bow and arrow, and then I'm going to put it on my back.
He said the three of us are going to go hunting for black pigs.
I'll kill pigs. I just don't want to kill a bear.
I'm not killing a bear, man.
Me neither, man. He wants me to, and I'm like, I just don't want to do it. I won't eat it.
Bears are awesome.
And I like bears.
I love bears.
I know.
I'd be so scared though. I don't want to. Don't give me a fucking bow and arrow. I need a legit shotgun.
Oh, why? Because
I'm gonna shoot his snout
Because first
off.
of all, you bait him in because you can't. You have to bait him in. You bait him in, and you're crouched waiting for the bears. Problem is, a bear could be coming up behind you, and if a grizzly bear comes, do you know what you do?
Shoot in the snout.
You climb a tree.
That's not true. They can climb like a motherfucker.
No,
Who
grizzly
told you
bears
that?
can't. Black bears can.
Who told you that?
Joe Rogan.
You say climb a tree?
Yeah. So when
You ever seen
a
a bear
grizzly
climb a
bear,
tree?
oh no, black bears will climb the fuck out of a tree. Grizzly bears don't, which I didn't know.
Oh, so let me get this straight. You see a giant grizzly bear, you're like, oh shit, let me climb up this tree because I'm so fast at climbing giant trees.
Check this out.
You know how long it's gonna take?
They
That
have
bear's gonna
ladders.
go, oh cool,
No,
it's
no.
a fucking human kebab.
When you're
let me
waiting-
bite his ass off.
No, when you're waiting at the tree, they have ladders, so you would climb the tree. So that you literally have.
Oh, that's weak sauce.
well, that's
hey, everyone, get your ladders out just in case a grizzly bear comes. That ain't hunting.
It's what to do. It's what
Nah,
to
I get
do.
a shotgun. You're the bear. Boom. Face.
Do
nose.
that
off.
bear again.
That's what they do.
Because
Why did their mouths go to? Why did their mouths go to the side?
they have big lips. Joe does it best.
Yeah,
I
he
can't.
does do a good job.
I can't do it.
Well, you sound like a.
I
Hey,
sound like
please
one
stop.
with. I sound like one with bronchitis.
No, you don't. You sound like a horse.
Let's see you do a horse. Mine's better. Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's not. You look like a horse. You have a bigger head.
This is ridiculous.
Let's see you do animal sounds. Horse.
Which one, man?
Okay, horse. Try horse.
Can
again.
I do a yak?
Try horse
No, I'm
again.
really good at yak.
Go ahead.
Can I do a yak?
yak. I didn't know they went. Yak.
Bro, come on. It's from Ace Ventura 2.
Oh, that's the shittiest.
He's all. Yeah. Come on, bro. The only horse sound. I mean, the only horse sounds I can make. Horse, right?
Pig.
No, that's too
Do
even
it.
too stupid.
Do it.
Let me hear your pig. Stop. That's pretty legit. What? Well, you had me to the. No, well, no, that's not a pig.
Well, I got poked by a taser.
You know, last time I went hunting, I was in Hawaii hunting warthogs, and they're like, everyone don't turn any lights on because the warthogs will see it and they'll run off.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a little baby warthog. He was so cute. I was like, oh my God, I'm not killing this thing. So I turned the light on my helmet and pointed it up. And we didn't catch one warthog because I warned them.
Only problem is that there are no warthogs in Hawaii. Warthogs are indigenous to Africa, but there are wild boar in Hawaii.
Oh, wild boar, yeah.
So
yeah,
get that right,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
So of course
Brian.
you didn't shoot any warthogs.
We got
because
wild.
there
They look
are
very.
none.
They look
There are
very
none.
similar.
There are none.
They look very
Maybe
similar.
there's one in the Hawaii Zoo.
Is there a zoo in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Is there? Is there?
By the way, it's not just in Hawaii. I'm sure it's in Honolulu. I'm like in the Hawaii Zoo.
Yeah.
There are a lot of islands. on
Boars
Hawaii.
are cool though, man. I don't want to kill them.
Well, boars are probably tasty.
Yeah, just the way they go about it, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Dogs, knife to the heart.
How about Mark Maron had on
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama? Probably biggest podcast of all time, hands down.
What would you ask?
Number wise, it
ask?
killed
The
it.
problem is you wouldn't have any questions to ask Barack because you don't really follow anything.
Yeah, I would. I'd ask about ISIS, how big of a deal it is. If he thinks it's a threat, what's his plan for ISIS? I'd ask him about the Obamacare health plan. Any other dumb fucking questions?
What would you
Brian?
ask him about Obamacare?
I have all sorts of questions. I'd ask him about racism, just like Maron did. What's he plan? Like, I'd ask him about his views on Confederate flag. Most people are against it. They want it taken down.
Right.
I'd ask him about vaccination shots.
Vaccination
Yep.
shots.
I'd ask him about that.
Vaccination.
All sorts of stuff, man. What would you hold?
What would you ask
Get
him?
ready to get
What would
bored.
you ask him about the
Well,
vaccination?
People are going away from it.
Well,
So
yeah,
these diseases are coming back.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So that's why I would ask him, Brian.
There you go. Okay. Well, those are pretty standard questions. Thank you.
What would you ask him?
I would ask him
Key
about
to losing 20,000 listeners.
About Obamacare. I would ask him if he was aware of the consequences. It's a 2,400-page bill. 2,400 pages. You ever read 2,400 pages?
You don't think he's aware of the consequences?
No,
you don't
I don't.
think that's a pretty standard question?
No, I don't. I think
You think you're the first person to ask that?
I don't think he talked to enough small business owners. The problem is that if you hire somebody for more than 30 hours, you have to pay their health care. So guess what happens to all those busboys and all those people who used to work overtime? What happens is employees go, I'm only going to hire you for 25 hours.
Yep.
Don't want you to come close to 30.
Yep.
So now they can't even work overtime because the company can't afford it. Those are the unforeseen consequences of any kind of big government action, and you just have to keep that in mind.
And you don't think he's aware of that at all? You think you're the first person to think
I
this?
think that it comes down to a philosophy. And I think that whenever you vote for anybody, and I voted for Obama, but I voted for him for different reasons. But I think it comes down to a philosophy. And this is where I have two things to say about this. People are like, I don't know anything about politics. Problem with that is that ignorance is not bliss. When you are not aware of the issues and you're not aware of what the argument hinges on, you can end up voting for something that you yourself wouldn't even agree with if you really understood it. So when with Obamacare, we all want everybody to have health care, affordable health care, right?
Yeah. But this is what you're going to
explain
this to Barack Obama?
How do you do that?
You're going to explain this to him?
I would like to know his answer. I would like to know, number one, if he knew that. And what else? I'd like to know if he knew that. And second of all, what he would do, what he's going to do about that. It's a major problem.
That's the only two things you'd ask him?
No.
Would you ask him anything outside the box?
Well,
I would talk basketball with him. 100%.
Yeah, not me. I have a chance to talk to the leader of the free world. I would ask him what he thinks about when he hits the pillow. What
Something he does. Yeah.
Those are the important things. The other thing I think you'd be surprised at, I bet you he'd say, is how little power he actually has.
Yeah, I would ask him about that. I'd ask him about how stressed out he is.
Yes.
Because have you ever seen when the day he went in the White House till now?
It's unbelievable.
It's
Every
crazy.
president,
man.
Yeah. 4 years, you age like a motherfucker. They say it's the hardest job in the world. Like people who are close to the president.
Right?
Well, whenever you make a decision and you're that powerful, or you're the leader of the free world, you make a decision. 50% of the people are happy. 50% of the people hate your guts. A lot of times, it'll just break into. There's no way to make everybody happy.
But you know that going into it. That's politics.
Yeah.
Politics 101. You know it.
Yeah, you do. The biggest question I would ask him also is, how big of a role does he think government should play in our lives? 50%, 10%? I'd ask him to put a percentage on it. That's all.
I wish he would give us the lowdown on the Osama bin Laden raid. Like how informed was he? How secretive they have to keep it?
Apparently they were watching everything real time.
Well, no, everyone knows that.
Yeah,
that's not secret.
But the biggest issue is this.
I want to know how
he had to make the decision. Yeah. Like what's interesting about the president is that when people. A lot of people think everybody comes in and goes, this is what we have to do, Mr. President. No. The president sits in a room, and his national security advisor, the head of the CIA, Secretary of State, all these different people representing different departments come in and give them their point of view. And a lot of times those points of view are all over the map. And
I doubt that. I bet a lot of time they're all on board.
That's absolutely not true. In fact, it's almost always the opposite. And what happens is, so let me give you an example.
I don't know if that's
Let me give you an
true.
example. The decision they knew, or they were pretty sure Osama bin Laden was in this house. Now, the raid was very risky.
Cue to everyone seen Zero Dark 30.
No, but listen, because they didn't know for sure. The question becomes, do you drop a bomb on the building, but then we wouldn't find his body? Do we launch a raid? And by the way,
it was in Pakistan.
Not only that, it's in a quote unquote allies airspace and on their ground, and their West Point, Abbottabad, their West Point for all their military is a mile away.
Yep.
Which is so interesting. I'm sure they didn't know that Osama bin Laden was there. Of course not. They don't make a lot of money on helping us with our anti-terrorism effort. But the president, ultimately, the responsibility resides on him saying yes or no. That's all.
But he's having the smartest people in the world come up with plans for him to say yes or no.
Yeah, I don't know how smart they are all the time. I mean, do you say
you
that?
Don't know? You don't think he has the resources to the smartest minds in America?
I don't know what that means. You'd have to define that. Everybody has a point of view, is what I'm saying. Usually
a very educated point of view.
Yeah, very educated.
You don't get in that fucking war room without being in a very educated person.
Very fucking smart guys in there, of course.
Very smart, who come up with calculated risks.
But what do you do? What do you do when you have two really smart people with very different points of view? That's where.
Well, that's why the president has to be smart.
There you go.
That's why he's very smart. And
you got to
educated.
have somebody who's got wisdom, who can weigh the pros and cons. But
that's why he's the president.
History's full of presidents that were not so good at that.
When we look back on Obama, will we remember him for the Osama bin Laden killing? Right, that was a huge mark for him.
I don't know. I think that history will tell. I think with Obama, we'll look back on a guy who was very careful, which I don't think is a bad thing. He was very prudent and careful about his decisions. He wasn't rash to jump into things without knowing the situation the way Bush was. Bush knew very little about the Middle East history, about the consequences, I would argue.
Bush
and most people would agree that the Iraq invasion.
Financially.
Yeah, but most people would argue that the Iraq war was a mistake. And I don't think that if Obama had been in power, he would have gone into Iraq. He voted against the war. So there's a lot of that.
I also think Obama's the first president, maybe since Bill Clinton, that relates to the younger generation. Like he's on social media. He's doing podcasts. He's on MTV. Yeah. He plays basketball. He goes to athletic events.
And whether or not that's a very good thing or an okay thing.
I'm telling you it's a good thing.
Why?
I think it's good because most presidents, none of the younger generation can relate to ever. Like Bush, fuck no. How can we relate to Bush, man? It's just not happening. Obama comes from a different kind of platform, right? He comes from single family, right? His mom raised him. Chicago, loves basketball, plays basketball, had a basketball hoop put in the White House.
That means you could relate to him if you hung out with him. Does it necessarily mean he's a great statesman?
Yeah, I assume if he got to that level, he's gonna be pretty good. I go ahead and assume, but if he's voted into the White House, that those bases are covered.
Well, Bush was voted into the White House. How do you feel about him?
I think he's a smart guy. He makes some bad decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Obama can translate to the younger generation. Most can't. That's huge, man. That's so big.
That's not the top of my list for voting, though.
I didn't say it's top of my list.
Yeah.
Who said that?
I do think that he's a guy.
I'm telling you, it's a gift. I'm telling you, it's a good thing to have.
He's a great speaker. There's no question. He can relate to people.
Yes.
That's
huge.
Well. Yeah.
Charismatic. Bush wasn't. Look at Bush like, what the fuck? No, fuck this guy.
Yeah. I just don't think Bush was very wise. I really don't.
No, I don't think he's very wise.
And I think that he looks back, and I think, if I'm not mistaken,
worst president ever.
I don't know. I'm not a historian. I don't want to go
Bill Clinton's
into that.
dope. Anyways,
there's
fights this weekend, aren't there? Machida.
Oh yeah, it's Machida.
Come
Romero.
on, Av. Don't you have to be there?
Machida Romero. It's in Hollywood, Florida.
Do you have to be there?
No.
Is that the tough finale or no?
No.
Yoel Romero.
There's a lot of guys coming off of the Tough Brazil that were going to be fighting on that card, and they had a ton of visa issues, and like half the card had to get replaced a couple days ago. Like Eric Silva was in the co-main event. A bunch of other guys were on the prelims. None of them can get into the country.
Why?
So visa issues.
Can I ask you a question? You know Lyoto Machida pretty well. He goes from Luke Rockhold to Yoel Romero. Does the guy ever want to take a break, or does he have to go fight back-to-back monsters?
It's just what he does.
Jesus. Does he? You said he's the true samurai, but I mean, how do you go from fighting Luke Rockhold and then you just basically take no break? You train. I mean,
it's called being a fighter.
Oof.
What else is he supposed to do?
Take time off.
Why?
I don't know, man. It seems like a lot of damage.
Nah, he trains smart. It's all he likes to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, he never gets too low or too high. I think Yoel Romero is a way easier fight than Rockhold, obviously.
Why?
Romero's gas tank's bad. Romero won't touch Machida on the feet. He can take him down, but this is a 5-round fight. Yeah. So by the 3rd, 4th, 5th round,
Yoel's tired.
Lyoto,
that's a lot of muscle.
Yeah, he's going to take over. It's a great fight for Lyoto.
Really?
Style-wise, can be a better matchup.
Huh.
You want to bet?
I don't.
You're sick of losing?
No, I haven't lost yet.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Yoel is your boy. You just lost the Kimbo Shamrock.
I did, didn't I?
We'll get to that after this.
I feel like that fight was fixed, but we'll get to that.
Yoel's your boy. You were all up on his nuts for years. You want to bet? You want to bet someone pays for? Well, no.
It's a 5-round fight is the problem, and I don't have confidence in Yoel in 5 rounds. I have confidence in him in 3 rounds, but I do think
he can get him out in 3 rounds.
He's not going to knock Machida out. Though.
Why? Machida just got TKO'd, and he's been knocked out before by Shogun.
Yeah. He could Here's the thing.
I would say loser has to buy the hotel, but we need the hotel before that.
Yoel Romero is a sick wrestler, as we know, but I don't see him doing much kicking, and he's going to have to close that distance. He boxes, so he's going to get close to Machida. Machida has no problem keeping a guy away with those fucking kicks. So Machida is better on the ground, on the ground. I mean, striking.
And on the ground.
And Machida has great takedown defense. I don't know if that works against Yoel Romero, world champion, toss you. But
good luck tossing Machida.
He's got to get close to him. Do that, and Machida's
even if he
Mr.
does,
Judo.
good luck taking him down.
Really?
Watch. No one's gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
The fans won't be surprised.
Well, Machida has spent a lot of time wrestling guys who are, as close to.
So we both got Machida. The rest of that card's shit, isn't it?
I mean, it's been changed up a lot since the visa.
So we really don't know what's going on.
Like the co-main event now, I guess it's just in the co-main event slot, but they're probably going to shift up the bout order. The next biggest fight is probably Lorenz Larkin fighting some Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Fantastic.
Tough, man. They got some. Is there? Why? I know they have like 600 fighters on their roster, so they have to keep making fights.
So
Isn't
international.
I don't know. I guess they know what they're doing. I mean, it feels like there's so many fights, man. How about having an event? Remember how the UFC would be like twice a year or 3 times a year?
Used to be great. Stack cards like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's no Super Bowl anymore for the UFC.
Wow.
It's all good, man.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not in their war room.
Yeah, it's true.
189 is pretty close to a Super Bowl.
Which one? What is it?
McGregor, Aldo, Lawler, McDonald, Dennis Bermudez, Jeremy Stevens, Matt Brown's fighting Tim Means. Your boy Brandon Thatch is fighting John Howard. Gunnar Nelson's fighting John Hathaway.
I don't care about any of that stuff.
Super Bowl?
Seriously, I like all those fights.
But
I don't
Super
care
Bowl?
about any of that.
I mean, it's not UFC 100.
Do me a favor.
It's
Google
not
UFC 100.
I know.
Watch your P's and
I know.
Q's.
I
Google
know.
UFC 100.
I do like. I'm really excited about
there's
McDonald's
two super
Lawler.
fights. There's 2 super
Yes,
fights on there.
McDonald
Other than
Lawler.
that, they're just good fights.
What was the other one? Was it GSP Thiago Alves? Was that the other one on UFC 100?
Yep.
After,
Frank Mir, Brock
Mir
Lesnar,
yeah.
Henderson, Michael Bisping.
Was Rampage? No, Rampage wasn't on that.
There's someone else on that. Man, that card was fucking massive. You weren't feeling Bryan owes me dinner anywhere I want in San Francisco because Kimbo Slice knocked out Ken Shamrock in the first round.
And I believe you called it, right?
Yeah, I did. 3rd one in a row. So I called the JJ knockout in the 3rd round too.
Yeah.
And I called Verdum by submission in the 3rd round.
Not bad. You're batting 1,000 right now. I believe that Ken Shamrock.
You think it was fake?
I believe it was fake.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
You think it was fake?
I mean, the fight that put Ken away was real as shit.
Yeah.
But
the punch.
Other than that, like every second of Kimbo and Ken on the ground was suspect to me.
Well, why?
Did you see it,
Because
Kay?
he had him flattened out
Well,
with his arm under his chin.
He's 50.
Before he even got him flattened out, before he even did anything, the takedown itself was
super easy.
Was
weird.
I mean, Kimbo's
Kimbo's been boxing.
May be old.
Kimbo's been boxing this whole time.
He's still at ATT, and if that's what takes Kimbo down, then I could take Kimbo down.
Yeah, but that's what Kimbo's been boxing.
Listen, I believe the fight was fixed, and I'll tell you something else. The minute Ken got hit, he didn't even let Kimbo close in. He didn't even look at. I don't even think he looked at Ken. He might have, but he stopped the fight immediately. Like done, finished.
Yeah, he went no.
Yep, done.
And then boom, blast in the face.
That was it.
Kimbo's
Finished.
like, we gotta sell this thing. Boop.
And he's talking to him in the middle of the ring. He's doing this thing. I was like,
That was weird.
seems
It was
really
super
showy.
suspect.
Joe made a lot of good points on the fight
Fight
companion
yeah.
about the parts of that fight that in particular were really sketchy. Like I was concerned with the with when they were clinched up with each other for so long.
Talking each other's ear.
Yeah, it's super.
Did you see there's some hype going around that Hoist versus Ken Shamrock? Please just
I
hey
don't
Bellator,
care.
Bellator,
I don't
look
care.
at me. Look at me in the eye.
I don't care.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Stop with these old guys fighting. It's becoming a gimmick. I was on the Bellator.
Are you not on board with that?
I was on board with the Bellator train. What they're doing, the light heavyweight, it's dope. The Glory kickboxing, Bellator at the same time is dope. Quit with the old guys. It's not good, man. It's starting to become a gimmick. People are starting to look at you like a joke. It's not good.
Yep.
You bring Hoist Gracie back and Ken Shamrock, I'm gonna just have to never talk about Bellator again, ever.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Holding. We have a lot of good pauses in this show. Good pauses.
Hold.
You've done any surfing, bro?
I haven't. Been busy, man.
Why? Because there are 13 great whites. Because the cops
see
saw
that 13 great whites in Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach. Just 13. What's that mean? Just swimming around.
How about people are paddling out to see them? The
Yeah.
fuck? What's wrong with you?
I'm gonna put my GoPro on the end of my paddle.
Did you see the writer from Game? Did we already talk about the writer from Games of Thrones get attacked by the lion?
She got
murdered?
editor, I think.
Editor,
right?
writer,
She
editor.
was killed.
She was killed. She was doing some work in Africa. Fucking
taking photographs or something.
No, had her window roll down a safari.
Oh yeah.
Lion will reach in and say, "Yeah."
Jesus Christ!
Don't roll your fucking window down if you're on a lion exhibit.
I've never understood people who get too confident with that shit. Your food.
I'm so scared of
your
those
food
animals.
in shoes. Okay, your food. What don't you understand? That's a huge female.
I'd love to go on an African safari, and I'd love to swim with the sharks while I'm in a cage.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna fucking, roll the window down and try and squeeze his nose.
Did you see the video of the great white that got caught in that dive cage?
And freaks out.
And
the guy's
freaks
like
out, and the dive cage just comes apart like a piece of Lego.
Shreds.
Just and now they're like, oh, well, I'm here in the middle of. No thanks. If I'm gonna get in a dive cage, I want it tested. I want it.
This is my thing. This goes back to theme parks, bungee jumping, all that shit. The trust we put in people is insane.
Yep.
Oh, let me fly to Australia. Mm-hmm. Let me sign up online for great white shark diving.
Yep.
Let me assume that this guy charging $179 for a shark dive has his shit together and the cage is legit.
Yeah.
What? How crazy is that?
David Blaine told me.
Let's say he was just like, all right, I made this out of aluminum. The sharks never touch it. Whatever. They'll be fine. You're fucked, man.
You just can't predict. David Blaine told me that these two scientists were down there looking at great whites. They were swimming with them, but they were underwater, and they were like, "Hey, don't bother you as long as you don't move, and you have your cameras, and we have our our equipment."
Okay.
And they're back to back, and they're sitting on the ocean floor, and this great white goes by them, these 20-foot, and the thing just goes. It stops, turns around, and grabs the guy, and takes him off, like grabs him and disappears down like a drop. Yeah.
Worst
and the guy's like,
nightmare.
huh? Wait a minute. See ya.
Oh, do you know sharks?
Yeah.
Or if you're quiet and you're friendly, they're
won't
going to
eat
let you pass.
The rubber and the camera will keep, Shark was like, I'll eat the rubber and camera. I don't give a fuck. I'm a shark. And ding. Yeah. And
I'm a shark. That's like bringing a thing of donuts to me.
Right.
Now, if you just leave him there, Brendan, he's just going to look and he's going to keep moving.
Yeah.
Wrong.
If you put him in a cardboard box, he won't eat them.
Put him in a cardboard box and just stay still, and he's just going to walk past, and then he might sniff you, but you're safe.
Yeah.
Wrong.
No thanks.
How about that? Who does that bullshit?
I mean, the guys who swam with crocodiles, Nile crocodiles. They go underwater. Guy rode one.
And then
Did you see
get
that?
fucked up.
For whatever reason, when you're under the water,
that's just luck of the draw.
When you're
man.
under the water, they somehow, and you're swimming with them, they somehow don't attack you.
Bullshit.
I don't get it.
Bullshit.
That's what I
That guy got luck of the draw.
I don't
I'll tell you
get
what. Go jump in the fucking Nile River and go face to face with the crocodile.
If you're
Let
on
me
the
know how that
if
goes.
you're on the surface, if you're on the surface, you're
Quick,
dead.
crocodile! Everyone get underwater.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of crocker shit.
Well, they did do it, but I mean, if you're swimming on the surface,
They might inject him with a shitload of NyQuil.
Yeah, Crocs, you are. Human beings are 100% prey to crocodiles. They go, oh, you are on the same footing as a gazelle, a zebra, or a duck.
Hey, how hard were you laughing when I texted you yesterday that I wanted to jump out of my Prius because I was about to go crazy?
Well, listen, you're not a civilian, and sometimes with people who don't necessarily have a normal job, and they do things like what they want, which is like podcasts. If they're lucky enough to do what we do, which is make money talking, fighting, doing comedy. Sometimes when you have to behave like a normal person, like a good family man, when you have to go and meet family members you don't know very well, if you have to drive 2 hours, if you have to kind of play really boring games with children for more than 1 minute, you can tend to go a little fucking crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How excited are you for San Francisco?
I can't wait. I've been writing this joke about how you can have a family, like you can have a wife and kids, and of course you know how much I love my family, and they're great. But there are moments when, like, there are just moments where you find yourself thinking thoughts that you could never admit to anybody. But since I'm a comic, I will.
O.J. Simpson thoughts?
Well, but that I would never. I mean, the idea that they would be killed like that. But say if, like, there are times where my kids are screaming and my wife is like wearing a bucket hat and she hates my guts and she hasn't slept and she's yelling at the kid. And I'm like, this is a lot of noise, and I
wouldn't mind if there's a couple crocodiles around.
Well, if they were to die in a plane crash, now I'm not saying I stop it there. I don't go further, but I'm like, but if they were sleeping and then they crash,
they just
and then,
didn't wake up.
Sleeping heaven. You go right to sleeping heaven. Like, it's just a very quick. It's not.
I'll see you up there in a few years.
No suffering. Just sleeping heaven. You got right there. I would be like, that's terrible, and I stop thinking from there. I don't think about the money I'd make from the airlines. I don't think about being super rich and a widower. I don't think about that. I don't think about the sympathy I would receive from lots of different people.
Who's the first person you call?
I'm not saying I would call
Me?
you. I'm not saying I'd call you and get a beach house. I'm not saying I'd call you and get a beach house, but I would have to mourn. And that's where I stop. I don't think any further than that. I don't think to myself, if they died in a plane crash, now they'd be sleeping and they go right to heaven. So they are in heaven. I'm not saying that then I'd probably get $20 million from the airline. I would probably buy a beach house. And I would probably throw a party. But now here's the thing.
Here we go.
It'd be a very sad party.
You know what? I was struggling with something the other day, and I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm not going to shout her out, but I was talking to her, and I wish I was more religious because you could bank so much shit on this. It must be so nice to be that religious. She goes, just pray to God and he'll give you the answer. And I wrote this long text just like shitting on her. But then I like erased. I was like, yeah, if it was that easy, I would definitely try it. Or, I would do that.
Yeah.
It must be nice to be able to do that.
Yeah, God bless her. Thank God.
I know, man. I wish I had that.
I'm always fascinated with the thoughts that we all have. All of us have thoughts. Just for a second, like a fleeting thought that is so appalling and inappropriate. But
you get arrested.
Right, but we all have.
If it was a text message, if there's a big like text message like screen above me with my thoughts, I'd be arrested now. Now I'd go to prison for a very long time.
No question.
Certain thoughts.
But
sometimes I wonder.
That way,
sometimes
right?
I wonder if both my grandpas pass away, and they're up in heaven. Let's say there's a heaven. They can hear my thoughts. They're like, oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God.
But they had the same thoughts.
He's a fucking creep.
I bet they had the same thoughts.
Maybe.
Of course.
They listen to everyone, but they're like, oh, not Bryan.
I believe my
psycho.
wife has had those thoughts. I bet my wife 1,000% has been like, oh God, I just want all of them to die right now. I mean,
that hurts my feelings.
But
I like to think I'm the only one who has that thoughts.
No.
Everyone else just loves me.
We all have dark fucking shit going on. But and it's a fleeting thing. It's just like you just sometimes fantasize about just starting from scratch or just leaving this life behind and being a different person. I mean, even that is kind of the idea of everybody that you knew not being in your life anymore, and let's see who else I can find.
Like I was talking to my mom yesterday. I was super. I don't get homesick much, and I was super homesick yesterday for some reason. So I called my dad. Obviously, it's Father's Day, but I called my mom too, and I talked to Mom for an hour. She talked about you most of the time. She loves you, and she loves the podcast because she said she listens to the podcast because it makes her feel like I'm at home all the time.
Oh, that's so great.
Which,
I love that.
For sure, I got to chill out on the dick
Hi, Mom.
jokes. Yeah. Hi, Mama. Mama Bird. That's what I call her, Mama Bird.
Mama Bird.
But she was saying, and I've never heard her talk like this. She goes, I think God brought Bryan into your life because you've always been an entertainer. Since you were a kid, you've been an entertainer. She goes, when you were 2-3 years old, everyone would say, well, he's going to be an entertainer. That's entertaining.
Ooh,
I would like do all this stuff on stage all the time.
That's fucking interesting.
I'd always do this stuff. And she's like, when you and Bryan, when I first heard you guys' podcast, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what Brent should be doing.
Yeah.
He's been an entertainer.
And that's your mother who's known you a little while.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Weird, right? She's like, and she goes, no, you're around athletes so much, you don't get to show your entertainer side. Like, I do. Like, I sing nonstop at home. She's like, I sing, I dance, I do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Might not
You're
be
a silly goose. You're a silly
Michael
goose.
Bublé, but I like to sing, and I'm super silly. I like to entertain.
You can draw.
I like to, I'm very artistic, draw or shirts, design, stuff
Yeah.
like that. And she goes, Bryan was brought in your life to bring this out because you're surrounded by athletes who you always hide it. Because
well, it's so intense, isn't it?
My
fighting.
teammates know that I'm a silly goose for sure, but comes this kind of where
it's serious business.
You got to be a little reserved.
Yeah.
Like in the football locker room, everyone knew I was a joke. Like I was the guy running around naked doing cartwheels and shit.
Right.
Some probably thought I was gay, but to me it's a big joke, right?
And you were a little gay, so what?
It's 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so my mom, that's what she was saying. She's like, "Thank God Bryan's in your life because people are finally getting to see this side of you."
That's great.
She goes, "Which you've been your entire life."
Right.
She goes, "Everyone thinks you're this great athlete, this crazy athlete, but that's second. You're entertainer first, which is crazy because no one's ever told me that."
Yeah, I feel that's really interesting. It's the first
Weird,
time you
right?
told me that.
Yeah. Because she just told me this yesterday.
Because it is true that I think when you're a fighter, and I've seen you in that mode, like when you're training, it's serious business, and you've got to be intense, and especially I've seen you spar. There's no humor really there. You've got to be on point.
Stressful.
It's stressful as fuck. There's just so much pressure to being a UFC fighter. I mean, there just is for 1,000 reasons.
It's the hurt business.
Yeah, and there's probably not a lot of room, but that's interesting. So you've been that way since you were a kid, because that's what I noticed when you told a story, and two comics said, who didn't know you, they go, "He's a really good storyteller." I was like, I know, it's weird.
Who knows?
Well,
we're on the
you've
right
been doing
path.
it. Now hold on. We were talking about this. You've been doing this. You've been practicing this your whole fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking about boxing, and Brendan hates when I talk about boxing because I sparred with Wayne McCullough yesterday. I moved around with him, and he was nice to me. But I was like, man, I was trying to ask him about footwork. He goes, "Hey, I'm not talking to you about footwork. I just have one thing to say. Look at me. You're never going to be a good boxer. Never. You know why? Because I haven't been doing it. Because it's just, you can't start."
Well, Bryan's talking about
at
angles
this age
and slipping punches. I said do boxing for a workout, but when you're trying to be fucking Adrien Broner, it's going to be tough, man.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm going to have a tough time. I think if I really apply myself by the time I'm 50, I'll be ready.
By you're 50, you'll be able to slip a punch from 90-year-old Wayne McCullough.
Good luck. Good luck slipping punches.
I'll tell you what, I fucking love that. I think it's ABC. Is it ABC or NBC, the primetime boxing? Adrien Broner fought Porter on there. Do you guys watch it or no? It's amazing. The production value's dope. But Adrien Broner, he's like a little Floyd Mayweather, right?
Yeah.
So he's Floyd Mayweather's best friend.
I didn't know.
He has similar footwork and he has similar game plans, but Floyd will avoid getting hit and hit back. Broner kind of just avoids getting hit, and then he gets, he'll get clipped every now and then. So he's losing rounds, but he mimics Floyd Mayweather, but he's just not there yet.
Dude, how about we haven't talked about this? How about Jose Aldo's sparring partner?
We talked about it on the companion. And it's Jose, for God's sake.
Jose Aldo. What's that guy's name from Brazil?
Jonas Bilharinho.
Dude.
He's real good.
That's a game changer.
Dude.
So Jose Aldo brought in a guy who's the Brazilian mimic to a T of Conor McGregor.
Kicks better
Looks
than Conor
exactly the same and has better kicks.
Weird.
That's a fucking game changer.
2 inches taller than Conor McGregor. 5'11".
It's just as fast. Moves just like him.
God damn.
The X Factor, man. All my money goes on Jose now after seeing that.
All your money.
All my money. My heart wants Conor to win. My brain's like, put all your money on Jose.
So as a fighter, as a fan, I go with Conor, and not emotionally. I just say
you think he's actually gonna beat him?
This is why.
$2,000.
Listen to this.
I'll bet you $2,000.
Hold on. This is why.
Before you go on, $2,000.
No, I don't want to bet.
$2,000.
No,
you make good money. I make good money. $2,000.
It's too much.
1 month of your T-shirt sales and my T-shirt sales.
No, man.
Of July sales, I get your portion. You get my portion.
No, because I'm not gonna take it from you anyway. But listen. I'll bet.
Then bet.
Listen, before we bet. Let me finish my thought. For me, I feel like all that talk and all that insanity has
something.
It's got to get into. I feel like it's going to get into Jose's head, and Jose's going to be beat before he gets in the ring.
I
know.
That's
how I feel.
The guy was lost in 9 years.
It's not even that.
You think he's going to be beat before he gets in the cage?
I don't even feel that way. I take that back. I think this. I'm like, for me, Conor seems so confident that how could he lose?
I know. That's crazy.
And now he's fighting a champion.
Let's bet.
Now he's fighting a champion.
You call the bet.
So
I say 1 month's T-shirt sales, July T-shirt sales.
Really? You really want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
A month's T-shirt sales.
That's good money.
July.
All of July sales.
Okay, you guys. You better fucking pay me, right?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Yeah.
You better. Yeah.
Oh shit, we just bet.
Oh, that's a lot of money. Way more money I've ever bet Eddie. That's for sure.
Damn, dude.
You nervous?
A little bit now.
We got July's gonna be our biggest month, which I left out. I'm gonna honey dick you. July's our biggest month. T-shirts.
Hey, you son of a bitch.
Hey, what can you do, Jose?
Listen, man. Let me tell you something, bro.
I just want a great fight.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. Can I make a prediction? This is why Jose's gonna have a tough time. Jose's facing a guy with better hands than he has. True or false?
False.
Oof. Really?
You think Conor McGregor's a better striker than
Yes,
Jose Aldo?
yes,
The best striker in the UFC?
Yes, and here's why.
Really? Which high-level fighter would you say Conor showed that on? Dennis Seaver?
Dennis Seaver, top 10 striker.
or who else?
Well, Justin Poirier.
Poirier. So you'd say Poirier is a better striker than, or more dangerous than Chad Mendes?
Well, Chad Mendes is so short, and here's the thing. Jose Aldo is a lot shorter than Conor, and here's my only thing.
Not that much
kicks,
shorter, man.
those crazy kicks that Jose Aldo uses on people. He's got to get close enough to do it.
No, he doesn't.
I don't
you know why
think
he
Conor's
doesn't?
gonna
Because Conor's stance is wide.
Conor's stance is wide.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Oh, he's wide, dude.
A lot of money.
Dude, I'm nervous right now.
I'm nervous too.
Ah!
But you know what sucks is I'm rooting for Conor. I want Conor to win.
Okay, so
we're not going back on that.
Okay, no, but Conor's gonna come in and what? Lead with his jab.
Move.
Yeah.
He's gonna eat a bunch of leg kicks.
Is he?
Yep.
Is he?
I'd be surprised if this goes out of the second round.
What? Stop
There's
it.
too much emotion. The first round they'll feel each other out, and the second round's gonna be on.
So Conor.
I could see an early stoppage.
What? Mm-hmm. On Conor.
Mm-hmm. What do I know?
Leg kicks.
I'm just the oracle.
Leg kicks.
You know what I know.
Leg kicks.
You know what I know.
Come on, bro.
You fucked up.
Come on, you hunted Dickman, man.
I honey
Let me
dicked you.
take it back.
Nope.
Please, bro.
Let's go to current events.
He brought me down the rabbit hole, everybody. Everything looks... I'm so
Professional.
much bigger than everything else. Am I in Alice in Wonderland right now?
Professional honey dicker.
Who's that bunny rabbit? Who's that guy with that big old hat?
Yeah, you got tricked real good on that one.
I'm telling you right now.
No, I mean it's a close. The odds are it's close.
Nah, Conor's going to check the shit out of those kicks. Check them.
Like I said, I'm rooting for Conor.
All right. Current events. First one. This happened on Friday, I believe. Derek Jeter got his 3,000th hit, which is a really, really big deal in baseball.
Derek Jeter or Alex Rodriguez?
Sorry, not Derek Jeter.
God damn it, Evan. First time you messed up.
Oh,
A-Rod.
A-Rod. Cranked a homer for his 3,000th. And the guy that caught it, notorious ball hawk, he ain't giving it back.
Really? He's caught more than one?
Oh, this guy's caught a shitload of balls. Like,
Famous balls?
yeah, like he's caught
That's what she said.
He's literally caught like thousands of, like hundreds of balls.
How's he do it?
Yeah.
He's just legit.
He's just a foul ball. He's a ball hawk.
He sits where they like statistically go more or what?
I guess so. He's got
He's got a
system
net. He's
is.
got a
it's
huge
working.
net.
Hey, buddy, get a job.
In any case, he's not giving it back. And ESPN quoted him saying, "I think that someone like Derek Jeter or A-Rod, who has made $500 million in his career, doesn't really need a favor from a normal civilian and a fan like me."
I agree.
And everyone's giving him shit for not giving it
Fuck
back.
that,
I'm on
keep
his
it.
team.
Well, I think
So
A-Rod should pay him money. I think A-Rod should give him 100 G's for that ball.
There you go.
Why not?
That's
What's
fair.
100 G's to A-Rod?
Oh, the Yankees contacted him about it, and he's not having any of it.
Money's not an issue to
Well,
him.
here's what's going to happen. He's going to sell it to a broker for a lot of money, and then A-Rod can buy it from the broker.
Or, you know what they did with, I think Mark Echo bought Barry Bonds' ball. He bought it and destroyed it
Why?
because that's what he wanted to do with it because he
Damn.
thinks Barry Bonds is a schmuck.
Gee whiz.
That's weird.
That's kind of shitty. Because he used steroids?
Oh, I know.
Fuck off. I don't like that guy.
Do you think
Or
a fan in this kind of case has any kind of obligation to give it back to the player?
No, they don't owe the player anything. I mean, the right thing to do. Listen, man, A-Rod's entertained you for a shitload of years. He's put his body on the line. Say what you want about the guy, but I mean, do him a solid, man. Think how many solids he's done you. You could. I mean, I'm sure A-Rod would give you some sort of money for it. You know, like don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, I agree.
What are you gonna do with that ball? Hey, I caught this. A-Rod's 3,000
You're going to
hit.
frame it in glass.
I went,
A-Rod will
oh,
too.
cool, man.
Didn't A-Rod earn it?
Fuck yeah, you earned it.
Right. You
Yeah,
caught
I
it?
think Mark. I've seen the ball because I used to be sponsored by Echo, and they flew me out to New York, and that's where I shot the ballet scene with Johnny Hendricks. But They had it in a case at the time, but I think he let fans vote on it, the public vote on it, and they voted to destroy the ball.
I mean, that's pretty funny.
That's the not really. That's the public, man. Just haters.
Barry Bonds.
Just pure haters.
I wonder if Barry Bonds got so much shit for the steroid stuff because of the steroids or because of who he is. He's always been a kind of a cagey, bristly guy. Like his own teammates didn't like him very much. So that
did you ever hear when he's talking dirty to girls and he got released?
No.
Oh God.
Who was talking dirty?
Barry Bonds.
It must have been amazing.
Oh, it's class. Well, he has that high pitched voice, and the girl's talking to him. She's like, "Yeah, I need this." She needs money. She's like, "I need this out of you. I need this." And he goes, "I know what you need, girl. You need some ding ding." Called it ding ding.
Nothing wrong with that.
Little ding ding.
That sounds small though.
I know.
Ding
when I heard
sounds
ding ding,
small.
it's like, ugh.
You need some I would say
ding
that.
Ding. Maybe some boom boom.
Yeah.
How about boom boom?
Or just
Girl,
make
you
a
need
better
that
sound.
boom
You need
boom.
Bong,
But he has that high pitched voice. Girl, you need some ding ding.
Ding ding.
That's what he
Have an
said.
echo. Ding ding.
Dong 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 or boom boom.
Dong dong.
Girl, you need some bong bong.
Bong bong.
Don't use double.
Just make a noise. You need
Vowel.
some
You need some
Should be like
See, I'm not
crow?
mad at that.
I sound like a crow.
All right, next fucking event.
All right, next one is Taylor Swift basically took Apple, bent him over her knee, and gave him a nice little spanking.
She
over the
honey
weekend.
dicked him?
Oh, she honey dicked him real good.
Who's Apple?
Apple Music? Apple, the company, the bazillion
Well,
dollar company.
Oh shit! Hold on, everyone who can't see this.
thought Apple-
Brian's dead serious.
I thought Apple was a rapper or something. Like I'm out of the loop.
Apple?
I know what Apple is. I have an Apple computer right here and an Apple phone.
What's Apple?
What's Apple? So she bent them over their knees, so she got some serious money from them?
She made them change a huge part of their Apple Music just business plan. What? They weren't going to pay. There's a 3-month trial period for Apple Music, and it's free. She sends out one 3-sentence letter / tweet, whatever the hell it was, saying that she's disappointed that they're not going to be paying artists for streams that take place during that 3-month period. And Apple publicly completely flipped the whole thing, went back on it, and they changed their whole business plan. Which, if you're paying artists for that 3-month period now, that's tens of millions of dollars that Apple just changed their minds on because Taylor Swift
that's
said
serious
one thing.
power, man.
Is Taylor Swift the most powerful person in the world?
No, not even.
Not the
close.
most powerful
Taylor
person,
Swift
but
more
certainly
powerful
she's a
than
very
Barack?
powerful entertainer.
No.
That's a good question.
Maybe.
No. That's a very good question. Commerce-wise, to affect commerce, at least in the music business, the answer is yes.
I think Kim Kardashian's more powerful.
Oh.
I don't know, because if Kim Kardashian said, "I don't like this," it would be different than if Taylor Swift as a musician.
If she said, "I don't like music," well,
Right.
it's in their field, right?
Right.
So if LeBron James says, "I don't like these shoes," it's gonna go a long way.
Yes.
If Kanye West says, "I don't like this music," it's gonna go a long, much further way than Taylor Swift.
Right.
If Taylor Swift says, "I don't like this fucking whatever," this car, it doesn't matter, right? So in her line of field, it's big.
You could do. I was thinking about, just for me, how many Twitter followers do I have? Not that many, but maybe 100 and some odd thousand. I wouldn't do this unless I really was pissed. But I wonder if I went to a company and said, "Hey, if you guys don't make this right, I'm gonna tweet what a shithead company you have."
Well, people do it. I mean, if Rogan has a problem with a place, Mark Maron, I see it all the
But
time.
they have a lot more of a social media presence.
100,000 is a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
100,000 is a pretty impressive army.
Yeah. Wonder if I can get
It
free
depends.
shit.
Free. Well, see, then you're abusing it.
Yeah, which I
Because no one's
wouldn't-
doing
I
it
don't
for
want to do that.
well, the way you make it sound. Now they're gonna hear this.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Free shit.
I've thought
what do
about.
you need? What free stuff?
Well, people
do you
have come
need?
to me and said, "You can get a lot of this," and I was like, "I don't know," but then I'd be bullying companies into giving me stuff based on the fact that I have reach, and I could, and with the threat of I could do damage. I would never.
Well, it
that's
depends.
not who I want to be.
It depends
right?
what it is. It depends what it is. Like I've had companies that just recently they send me clothes. They say wear this on this. Yeah, I'll do that.
I got pissed
I'll
at
post it on
U.S.
social
Airlines because U.S. Air, I paid $100 extra for what I thought was a better seat, and it wasn't. It was the exact same seat, only I was guaranteed a window or something. And I was like, "But this is the exact same seat."
Did you read all the fine
honey-dicked
print?
me $100, and then when I didn't get an answer, and I actually went because I was like just pissed that they took advantage. And I said, "Hey, U.S. Airlines," I tweeted, "U.S. Airlines, get better." You stole from me.
Did anything happen?
Yeah, they tweeted me back actually.
Said,
and they explained their policy, and I was like, it's a bullshit policy because you charged me $100 for the exact same seat.
Wait, but were you in an aisle and then it moved up one to a window?
Yeah.
That's progress. Shut your mouth. I'm with the
I want aisle.
I'm with the airline.
I thought it was a more comfortable economy comfort seat, which is different.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
How hard? You know what I'm disappointed in? Airbnb. Me and Bryan are trying to book an Airbnb for San Francisco.
I've been denied 5 times now. 5.
What do you mean denied?
I
For those
tried
who
to
don't
book.
know how
I tried
Airbnb
to book.
works.
I've tried to book. Then I go to book.
I don't know how it works, so I'm assuming Bryan's doing the right thing. He's saying,
Dude, then I go to book something that's $350 a night, and it jumps to $550 the minute. And I was like, what? $550 a night?
Is there something going on? Hey, tweet us. Is there something going on in San Francisco this weekend? I've never seen it so high. I was just in San Francisco the first week of May.
I mean, hotels
$400
minimum $400.
Yeah.
Minimum $400
$400 a night?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's a little steep.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
If you stay there for 3 days, it's fucking really steep. I don't want to. It bothers me. I got to spend $1,500 just to stay somewhere, some shitty hotel room. I hate it.
We're trying to do Airbnb.
Makes me angry. Brennan and I want to stay together, wake up and have coffee together. Adorable.
Veterans Parade?
No, it was
Yeah,
last
but that
week,
shouldn't be.
wasn't it?
Nah.
It is Gay Pride. It was Gay Pride.
That was in LA last week.
Is Gay Pride this week in San Francisco? I don't know.
There has to be something.
Fighter and the Kid San Francisco fans, let us know what the hell's going on so Brendan and Bryan don't get annihilated by Airbnb prices.
And come see us at Punchline.
San Francisco is such a weird place.
It's an expensive city.
Remember when Harvey Milk got shot and the guy got off because he said he ate too many Twinkies? The Twinkie defense. Do you know about that story?
There's
no
a movie.
idea.
Yeah, there's a movie, and Sean Penn played the milk guy.
Yeah. Wow. What a fucking weird.
San Francisco is
town.
great.
I love it.
I love San Francisco.
Love it.
I can't wait to go there.
I
Favorite
love it.
uncle lives there.
Great food.
Amazing food.
Yeah, I could live
Empowers.
there. I could live there easily.
The gym in Powers will be there.
Always been a very liberal place, which is a good thing.
I don't think I could live there.
Socially liberal.
I could live where like Robin Williams lives. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's a pretty expensive.
I think
Marin
that's
County or whatever.
Marin
it is.
County, yeah.
I like San Francisco, the city. I do.
San Francisco treat.
Yeah.
Do you know what company used to use that? San Francisco treat.
Yeah, Rice-A-Roni. Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. Sir Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
Folgers.
We don't ask questions.
No. What was? The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. You remember that one?
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't
Folgers
sing
is
the
shit.
jingle.
Folgers is shit though.
Not good coffee.
My dad used the old coffee things for piggy banks.
Yeah, some people are like, no problem. I'll just make some Folgers Insta. Ugh, not me. I'm particular about my coffee.
Yeah, me too. Next question, F.
All right, last current event. We can do one of two things. I'll let you pick. I'll just give you a little bit on them. We can do
Give me a sizzle reel.
basically
Give me a cock tease of it.
basically racism, or
We have a lot of opinions on that.
a sort of celebrity arrest, a weird celebrity arrest.
Let's go with celebrity arrest.
Over racism? That's been a pretty serious podcast with politics and shit. Let's go with celebrity arrest.
Celebrity
Pop
arrest.
culture.
Celebrity arrest it is. The kid who played young Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars Phantom Menace movie back in the day.
Definitely not a celebrity, but carry on.
He played Anakin Skywalker.
Not a celebrity.
I said sort of celebrity. I prefaced it with
You
sort of celebrity.
honey dicked us.
You did say
There's a lot of honey dicking going on.
Whatever.
today.
Luke Skywalker.
Celebrity arrest.
Luke Skywalker led police on a high-speed chase, crashed his car through a fence and into a bunch of trees.
What kind of car?
Damn. Why would you lead
Don't know.
police on a chase?
You're never gonna win.
You think you're going to get away?
You're never gonna
Does
win.
that
No.
work for anyone ever?
I don't think so ever.
Has anyone ever got away with it?
Probably, but I don't know.
No. When?
Your car, dude. You're not going to outrun
No.
a bunch of
No,
you're
you're
not
not
outrunning
You know what?
radio and
No,
helicopters.
if you had a GT3 Porsche or a 918 Spider Porsche, you're gonna smoke the fucking cops. A, you're gonna run out of gas. B, they have helicopters.
Yeah, and
they just hang
and
over.
radio.
You can go as fast as you want,
Yeah.
and then they can radio 20 miles up the road as fast as you are. Put up a roadblock.
Yeah, you
He's coming here.
dummy.
I don't think in the history of mankind it's ever worked out.
I think people
Definitely not now when they got helicopters and
Helicopters,
internet
man.
and all that
People
shit.
just panic.
You know who's not panicking? Fucking Andy Dufresne and Red, who broke out of that prison up north In New York, they found out today though they're getting desperate because they found them in a cabin. They broke in a cabin, found their DNA, their handprints on a bunch of shit. They're getting close. They're getting
still
close.
on the run.
They're only 25 miles away, still on the run. But they're saying now they're desperate. So now they're saying they're even more dangerous because they're going to come out and they're going to look to kidnap someone, rob or something because they're really desperate.
Well, they got
they're in a 25-mile radius and you got some hound dogs.
I was going to say you got some
hounds.
And hounds. You ain't hounds. You got some German shepherds, bite trained shepherds, wolves.
No, they got
big
hounds.
wolf dogs,
They said the hound
and
dogs.
bloodhounds.
Bloodhounds.
Do you know?
Do they still use bloodhounds?
Oh yeah, little trivia fact.
Nah.
Little trivia fact. Do you know why bloodhounds were bred to have real big old ears?
So they could hear.
Not bad, but no. Not bad. Why?
I love bloodhounds.
Why do
You
bloodhounds?
show me a cuter puppy than a baby bloodhound.
Why do
With those
bloodhounds?
big old floppy
Why do they
ears?
have those big old droopy
I could
ears?
pull them and tie them.
But why are those ears? Why are they so droopy?
Ooh, this is tough.
Trivia question. Come on now. And big old
It's
droopy
because
ears.
so something can't get into them, huh?
Nope.
Nope.
Come on.
Why?
Now. Just think about it.
You guys
for
got
a
any
second.
guesses?
When a hound dog.
Why are their ears so big?
Yeah. It's a weird answer.
You want count? You know? I assume.
I do know.
You know the answer. Okay. It's got to serve some kind of functional purpose. I guess.
It does. It serves a functional purpose.
Is it to put is it so it's heavy so it weighs their nose down so it's close to the
Well,
ground?
their ears when they're sniffing, think about what their ears are doing. Yeah. Go ahead.
Their ears drag on the ground, which picks up parts of the smell.
There it is.
Pieces that make up the scent.
Really?
Well done.
So it's always right in front of their face.
Keeps
and
them
they can
on
go straight
scent.
for it.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's why their ears
What's
so big?
up?
There it is.
So were they bred that
I
way?
like it, Evan. Good job.
Were they bred to have those big
Yes.
ears, or were they born with big ears?
No, well, dogs like that have been bred.
Bred.
Yes, they were bred. They were specifically bred for that purpose.
So
And they
the
have
bigger the
amazing
ears, the
noses.
more expensive, or the better they are.
That's just what a bloodhound is. Yeah.
It's kind of like a porn star. That the bigger the dick, the better it is. Bigger the ears, the better they are.
Yeah.
I would love a bloodhound. I would bring him in here like
They drool like a motherfucker.
I don't care. A little drool here and
Yeah,
there.
so
never hurt
sweet.
anyone.
Not smart, but so sweet.
So sweet.
Hound
and squish
dogs
their
aren't
nose.
sweet. Hound dogs are.
Should we get a Fire in the Kid hound dog? An official
Well-
mascot? Keep it at your place, please.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, your
If I
kids
get
want a dog.
I'm getting a German Shepherd.
No. I'll buy the hound dog if you guys take care of
I'm
it.
definitely not having that drool all over my house now.
They don't drool.
Oh, and they're
hound dogs
giant,
don't
and
drool.
they're fucking huge.
What?
Get
what
to be
hound
about,
dog?
Get to be about 120,
Hound dogs
about
are-
120 pounds.
You're full of shit.
Look up how much a big male.
No.
hound dog
Look
is.
up average size of a hound dog.
Bloodhound.
Can I get in on this bloodhound thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Will you take care of it?
Yeah, we'll be like separated parents. Like I'll get 1 week, you get 1 week, you get 1 week.
Yeah,
It'll really confuse.
I want them
dogs,
on
but we'll have a
Mondays
good
and
time.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Weekends
it.
I need free.
And by the way, they go. "Oh!" They howl. And you know what else howls?
They do that a lot.
And your neighbors love that. You know what else howls like a motherfucker? Beagles.
Oh, beagles.
Beagles.
Bro, get beagles out of my face.
Listen all day.
No, fuck a
That's
beagle.
a beagle.
No, fuck a beagle. I hate beagles. You know what? Beagles might
All
be the
day long.
only dog I don't like. Kay, are you down for this bloodhound? We'll just all chip in. What should
Jimmy,
his,
there's
what
one
should
dog.
his name be?
There's
Sherlock?
one dog. Here's another.
Oh, that's a great.
What about
that's a great
Sherlock?
bloodhound name.
What about Watson?
Sherlock's the greatest.
What about
name.
Watson?
Sherlock. I love it. Watson's great too.
Should we get two?
Aw.
No, it needs to be a boy.
Need a boy with big old balls, big, heavy, angry balls.
No, I want him small. I don't want a big one.
Hey, bro.
I want him to be.
Bloodhounds are very big.
No, they're not.
They're kind of big.
What's the sizing?
For males, the average bloodhound is around 101 to 119 pounds.
Yeah.
Female, 88 to
Don't
106.
argue with me. I know everything about dogs.
I know a shitload about dogs too.
Not
Bloodhounds,
as
I
much
don't.
as I do. Now listen.
Holy shit! I don't want a 100-pound.
Here's
bloodhound.
another trivia question.
They're
Here's,
huge.
here's another
I
possibility.
might as well just hire a detective.
Yeah.
Fuck a bloodhound.
Here's a possibility. Here's a possibility.
A
Great
miniature one?
dog. No. What's the one dog that does not bark? It's a barkless dog.
God damn it, you're on today, buddy. With dogs, they don't bark. A dog that doesn't bark.
Yeah. No, it's a medium size.
Is this like a normal dog that everyone's heard of, or are you gonna throw some shit that
Probably
like
not.
no one's ever heard
Probably not.
of? Okay,
Is it a Shih Tzu?
It's a Basenji.
never heard of it.
Are those
Yeah.
the ones with the curly tail?
Yep. Good job.
I know my dogs, dog.
Not bad, right?
I don't know
Not
these
bad,
little
not bad.
tips though.
Very good.
So
I still want a bloodhound.
bloodhound.
No, we're getting
Still
a Fire in the Kid
yeah?
bloodhound.
Yeah.
His name's gonna be Sherlock. I get him on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Not a bad
God, I
idea.
didn't know he's 100 pounds.
I'll take Tuesdays, Thursdays.
About 120 pounds, buddy.
Why are they so
huge
big?
animals. They're huge animals. 'Cause
What?
They have to have long legs. So they have to run fast.
No,
When you're on horseback,
lazy.
when they used to use them on horseback, when you're on horseback and you got a bloodhound with you, bloodhound's got to keep up with the horse. So they got to run.
Who knew? I thought bloodhounds were small with big ears, like elephants.
No.
Maybe we call him Elefante.
Elefante is a good dog.
Elefante.
Elefante.
It's not better than-
Elefante is a hilarious name for a dog.
Because he has giant
Elefante!
Elefante, come here!
Yes. Elefante, where are you? Where are you, Elefante?
I don't know how to spell it. Sherlock.
Everyone, I've brought my dog, my bloodhound, Elefante. Sorry about all the drool.
We should buy a bloodhound and you and I start dressing like Sherlock Holmes and Watson.
Mm.
You know, I got kicked out of class when I was in 5th grade because my buddy said something. I went, no shit, Sherlock. And he went, keep digging, Watson. When he said keep digging, Watson, I lost it, not making this up, fell out of my chair. And the teacher's like, get the fuck out of here. I couldn't stop laughing. I've never heard that before. Because he said it was something stupid. You know, they said
Keep
something like,
digging,
what are
Watson.
bees for? And he's like, Paul. And I went, no shit, Sherlock. I went, keep digging, Watson. Dude, I don't know what it was. It hit that funny bone. I was laughing so hard. I leaned back, fell out of my chair.
Dude, when you can't stop laughing, that is the hardest thing.
We've lost some deals over it.
Yeah,
Me and
we have.
Bryan can't stop
We
laughing.
clearly lost that Quest deal because we were laughing so hard.
What can you do? Okay, you got a creep line? Yeah. People keep sending me creep lines. I'm like, dude, quit it.
Well, somebody sent me my boy White Coffee.
Oh, hey, remember when we were making fun with Tom Segura? We were making Segura when we were talking about people with dicks on their fingers.
Yeah.
Remember talking about some dude? Did you see it?
Nah.
You guys? Oh no, you guys weren't included on it. Some dude was like, "Hey man, love the podcast, so funny." Remember talking about dudes with dicks on their hands? Check out my hand. And it was his hand was so deformed. Ooh. It was a big dick on his hand.
Whoa!
It looked like a giant dick. It was literally out to here.
Dude.
And then I wrote back and
Photoshop?
I went, no, not at all. And he goes, he was born like that. Oh. And I responded back and said, hey man, no disrespect at all. We're just trying to be funny. Hopefully it's not the first show you've listened to. Take everything with a grain of salt. We're just trying to entertain you guys. And he put, not at all, man. It was fucking hysterical. I got a dick hand.
That's great.
It was great. I'll show you the picture. It's a dick hand.
I got a creep line before you go into yours. I got a creep line. This guy who follows me on Twitter, White Coffee, good guy, and he sent me this thing, an article written about how MMA MMA fighters like it in the butt, and it was like a serious article. I was like,
that he wrote,
and then they were like, well, because MMA girls basically. They can choke out 99% of all guys, but they want to feel. They still are women, and they want to feel dominated.
So they want anal?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was like, "That's a very suspect.
That's creepy.
It's a suspect,
fuck.
creepy. It's a suspect and very creepy article.
Meanwhile, he's jacking off to anal porn, and then just decide to write this article.
You can't say that women. I love that, dude. Swedish chicks, fuck. Trust me, they fuck. It's like shut
That's
up.
what people do. Yeah, the other day, this guy, Australian chicks, bro. You ever been around an Australian chick?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh, you mean
what?
normal people?
They're normal with accents.
Yeah, they come from a certain
They're
geography.
not big freaks because they're Australian. You
This is
stupid
my favorite
idiot.
thing, bro. New York, huh? A lot of pussy there, huh? A lot of pussy.
I don't
over
have
there?
friends who talk like that. I can't be your friend. You ever been to Japan, bro? Japan? Those girls. You go to Japan, bro, that's anywhere.
When I was 14, this older guy, I was trying to be cool, and I lived overseas, and I'd never really been to the States much. And he goes, Saudi Arabia, huh? That's where I live. I go, yeah. He goes, you got tunes there?
Tunes?
I go, I don't know. He goes, tunes. You don't have tunes? I was like, I don't know what tunes are. Tunes, like music. You don't have tunes, music? I was like, I'm so uncool. I was like, oh yeah, we got tunes.
God damn it. Terrible story. Go, okay?
Story went nowhere.
For sure there's no murders, right?
No.
We have
this
to-
happened
we
to
have-
me when I was getting the donuts right now.
Ooh.
So,
I just saw those donuts and I want another.
so I was walking out with the donuts in my hand, and this guy who he reminded me of like Joey and Frankie from Boy Meets World. You probably
Okay,
know
I remember.
like a hoodlum.
I just
like,
went, and I have no
like
idea.
a street rat.
A street rap. Can I assume what he said to you?
What?
Ooh, girl, you got them donuts? Care if I glaze them buns?
No. He
Jesus, Brendan.
got on his
Brendan.
hands and knees and started barking like a dog, and then said, "Sick thighs."
Tight move.
That's fucking
That's
funny.
great. That's great.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sick
exactly.
Sick thighs, girl.
That's good.
Was he handsome at all? Probably
No,
not.
he
Handsome
was
guy some
dirty.
dude.
His face had like dirt on him. He was wearing a
Oh, he might have been homeless, like looking
He
for
was
donuts.
dirty.
Did
Hey-
you toss? I would have went, take the donut and tossed it at him.
No, I
One-
booked it. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah,
No
guy,
way.
that's a good move. But hey, dude, wipe your face. Like,
It's
don't
too
have
much.
dirt on your
it's
face.
too much. That's not a good move. Don't
Sick
listen-
thighs.
whoever's
Don't
listening.
get on your
Don't do
hands
that.
and knees and bark at me like a dog.
Now, what happens if he was handsome, pulled up in a Porsche, like, damn, girl, care if I glaze them buns? What if it's like something like that?
Well, Brendan,
Glaze them buns?
yeah. In other words, come on your ass. I mean, hi.
Well, would you put it like that?
I'm sorry, because none
No,
of us got what you were really saying. And even it's not creepy at all that you roll up on your Porsche. Let me guess, you got sunglasses on, a necklace, and your arms on the top of the
Glaze
wheel.
them buns.
Hey, girl, mind if I glaze them
Ew.
buns? As in, I want to jack off on your ass. I would imagine most girls would be like, well, you know what? Thanks for being so poetic. I'm going to get in your car, and should I present you with my ass in the car?
Oh, bro. I'm
Right.
assuming if she has a dozen glazed donuts, it would work.
When you assume you make an ass out of
Yo,
you and
girl.
me, okay?
Yo, girl. No, all right, try this one. Yo, girl, you like them glazed donuts?
Yeah, I do. Why are you laughing?
Can I glaze?
Good.
What?
You looking for a long john?
Looking for what?
Do you?
You keep laughing. I love your car.
Are you looking for a cream-filled long john?
I don't really understand. What do you mean?
I see you got some eclairs in there. You ever had a cream-filled long john?
I haven't had a clean.
Do you prefer glazed buns, girl?
I guess I like glazed donuts. I'm not really understanding.
Would you like your buns glazed, bitch? God damn
Are you
it.
saying that you want to?
Girl, I'm saying I got a fucking giant dick. Would you like a...
Police.
Would you like a long john?
Police.
Police.
I'd like the police
Oh,
here,
I'm
please.
sweating. Oh,
I'd like the
God
police
damn it.
here. There's a giant guy with cauliflower ears.
And he won't stop making dirty
talking about,
references to
he's talking
donuts.
about glazing, quote unquote, my buns.
So gross.
Guys are such idiots. Oh, come.
A long john? Is that what you call them?
I have to tell you.
Have you ever heard of them called long johns? Yeah. Right? Some people call me clears if you're a fucking terrorist, or I call them long johns. When I was a kid, this is no joke, my Aunt Nubby would pick me and my brother Jay.
My Aunt Nubby.
My Aunt Nubby.
This story's already creepy.
No, it's
You have a
awesome.
teacher-
My
an
Aunt
Aunt-
Nubby, who basically
Nubby!
who raised us,
Who
would
used to be
pick
a guy.
No, fuck
And
you,
now
man.
has a
Easy
tiny-
with Nubby.
tiny
You met
ball.
Nubby, bitch.
Oh, I love Aunt Nubby.
Easy.
I didn't know her name was Aunt Nubby. I
I
didn't
will.
call her
I
Aunt
will.
Nubby.
I will break your neck. Talk
You-
shit about
you get all-
Nubby.
Aunt Nubby.
Nubby would pick us up from school when we were in elementary. I was in 3rd grade. My
Oh
brother
my
was in
God.
5th. And she would take us straight from elementary school to Albertsons grocery store, and me and Jay would pick out a donut. And then I'd go to football practice. I picked out an eclair, and I ate an eclair for probably 8 weeks straight. But it had to be the cream-filled, man. A nice cream-filled long
A
john.
big old long piece of dough with cream in it.
Yeah.
There you
it's
go.
my favorite, man.
Eat it, you stupid.
And then
Eat it, you brown football player. You young,
No.
tight-skinned football
Then my
player.
dad was like, you got to quit feeding him long johns every day
don't
because he's
feed
not
him.
eating dinner.
Yeah. Get him something nubby. Not so long.
I'm not mad at that pickup line, though. I might use it in San Francisco. Yo, girl, you like San Fran? San Francisco treat.
Yeah, I got a San Francisco. All right. Hey, girl, this is you.
Hey, you know what the best
Hey,
part of
girl,
waking
you
up?
like-
It ain't Folgers in your cup.
It's my
this
dick.
big ass dick.
It's just a really shitty pickup artist.
Yo, girl.
Hey, girl.
Yo, girl, you ever at Folgers?
Yeah.
You ever heard that jingle? Best part of waking up, this fat ass dick in your cup.
I'll put my dick in your cup, and I'll just present it to you. Hey, like instead of coffee, it'll be my soft dick in
She's
your
like,
cup.
no, I get it. You're creepy as
Yeah,
fuck.
what I mean is I want to fuck. Hey, great line there. You're real smooth.
I just used on everything. Oh, cool. You got sushi?
My
You
buddy,
got sushi?
I tell you one time I'm driving in the car, my buddy, like he was such a nice guy, and this girl walks across the street and he goes like this. I'm driving and right behind me, he scared the shit out of me because he just goes, "Look at you! Look at you!" And she got scared. She goes, "Oh,
That's
like
not the
that.
way to
And
do it, man.
all day with you." I was
day.
like, "Bro, you sound like a fucking. You're shouting at
Dude,
her."
nothing drives me more nuts than when you're with a group of guys and like a hot girl walks by and goes, ooh, the things I would do to her.
I know.
Relax.
Bro, it's 4 of us.
What
and we're
would
guys.
you do?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I put this in there.
Oh, God, that was funny.
Just the guy who's really the single entendre guy.
Sing like that.
Hey, girl.
No.
Hey, girl.
Just bad pickup lines.
Hey,
We need to do a skit like this.
I want to get with you. And by that, I mean, I want to take this dick and put it in there. Like, try to be a little more creative. At the end of the day, that's what we're all saying. At the end of the day, when you're talking to a girl, when you see a guy really listening to a girl on a date, like really listening, you know it's a first date.
For sure.
You know he's never had sex with her.
But the whole time he's thinking,
Bro, I've been on dates where the girl could be saying, she could be talking about spores.
She might as well speak a different language.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
She could be talking in Latin. And
I'm not
like,
there.
Wow, yes.
All I'm thinking about is glazing them buns. My brain's like this: Long John, glazed buns.
Yep, Long John, glazed buns.
And then my mind's going, the best part of waking up, this fat ass dick in your cup. That's how my brain just goes.
That's all day long.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, I'm offended. Sorry about this podcast, everybody.
Let's go to fan questions. We can go a little long. We got a bunch of good ones.
You know that we're fucking going overboard because we're both a lot older. I'm way older than Evan, and Evan is literally rolling his eyes.
Evan's appalled. Evan's going to use these.
We beat
at whatever bar he's at. Evan's going to go up, oh, girl, you like Jack Daniels? You like tossing back Jack Daniels?
Yeah. You like tossing back Jack Daniels? And he's just going to go, here's my dick. Sorry, I can get in trouble for this.
Fucking Bryan Brennan told me to do that.
Yeah. By the way, we beat a dead horse, don't we? We really beat a dead horse. I mean,
well, but now we're in a bar scene. It's different.
It is.
Because we're in San Francisco now. Because Kay was at a donut shop. Was talking about glazing donuts. Now we're in a bar. Bar's a different thing.
You upped her creep line. I love the sick thighs, which was fantastic.
Sick thighs. That's creepy because he's
you took it to another level where I was actually like, Jesus.
Well, no, you took it to another level. I was using donut references, and then you're like, "Oh, you're trying to come on her ass." I said I'm trying to glaze them buns.
Okay, well, we all know what that means.
What? What's it mean to you?
I was creepy to a girl by accident. My next door neighbor. I still get embarrassed about thinking about this. My next door neighbor was a really cool woman and pretty good looking, but I was never really that attracted to her. And I said. I just ran into her at the ATM around the corner from us, and I said, how you doing? And I go, you look great. And she goes, thanks. I go, where are you going? She goes, I'm going out. And I go, and instead of saying you look great, I went, you are a sexy woman. I go, you're a sexy woman. And she goes, and she looks at me. I go, yep. And she goes, and she didn't say a goddamn thing. She got her money. I went, have a good one. She goes, thanks. And that was. I was like, oh no! I didn't mean to say that.
To saying stuff.
I know.
I have to be careful about that. But when I'm live on air, I have to be careful. She literally was like,
"Who the fuck are you to say I'm a sexy woman? Like you're
a sexy ass woman,
dummy. You fuck." I was like, "You dummy! You're a dummy. Don't say stupid shit."
Oh, it's funny, man. Let's go to fan questions.
All right, let's do it.
Who picked these fan questions?
Oh my God.
Both you guys?
I'll tell you another story.
I did.
I sent a dick pic to a friend of mine.
Got a lot of good ones off Instagram.
Yeah. First of all, Bryan and I did a photo shoot. We have a ton of pictures. We're going to release them on the Fire and the Kid pages when we ask for fan questions. Because for whatever reason, the Instagram peeps are a little smarter than Twitter. Way better questions. Yeah. Way better.
Yeah.
And way more interactive for some.
Dude, you know how I'll send like a dick pic to like random friends or to my wife.
We always me and Chris DeLeo joke around all the time.
But I mean, and it's kind of gross when you send somebody like a picture of like your hard dick. It's outrageous, right? I sent that by accident to I'll tell you who it is later, but a celebrity friend, and I don't know them that well. Oh. And I went and I panicked.
Was it a female though or male?
No, it was a dude. Oh. And I went and I wrote right after that, I go, this was sent to me by a fan. Good times. Like.
Did they respond back?
Well, you could see my chin. So clearly.
It's the worst if they don't respond
They did not
back.
respond back.
That's the worst.
I've done some embarrassing shit.
Have you ever texted the wrong person?
Sure have.
Oh, there is nothing worse in this world. There has got to be a fucking device that lets you take the text from their phone.
Well,
it's bad. I've gotten so much trouble doing that.
Since we're being truly honest, my wife got a text from me, which this is a long time ago, which said, I want to poo. I want to poo in your ass.
You're 48.
I meant to say that to Chris D'Elia.
Oh.
And she goes, I get back. She goes, just a huge question mark.
She's like, I guess I'm open to it. What if she texts back? I've been waiting for you to say that. I've been waiting for you to shit.
Oh, that's so hot.
I've been waiting for you to shit in my
mouth. I was like, shit, no.
I've been waiting for you to chocolate frost this mouth.
Like, no.
Fan questions.
Guys, I'm sorry about this podcast.
Me
Sometimes
too. I
go too far.
apologize to
I really
everyone
do go
out
too
there.
far.
All right.
I really do, man. I'm sorry.
Since we were
I'm
just
embarrassed.
talking about dates and shit that you guys have done and embarrassed yourself on, let's stick with that for the first fan question. This was from Luca Banana. Tell us both about your first dates.
First dates ever?
Yeah, tell us about both of your first dates.
First date was when I was 14.
Yeah, it's
Your first, give me your first memorable date then, or first one that you fucked up on.
First one I fucked up on. This was years ago. I was on a date with a girl, and right at the time I was dating a few women, and I brought this girl to an event, and we're walking down the street, and I'm like, oh shit, there's the other girl I'm dating. I told her I was doing some family stuff, and I'm with another girl, and you just can't act like you don't see him. So I'm like, I can tell her face is just fucking blood red. She's furious, and you know me, I'm like, oh my god, good to see you. And I hug her, and she goes, don't. In my ear, she whispers, don't fucking touch me. I went, right on, man. Gonna be crazy in there. See you inside. Then the entire night I get these death threat texts.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my date's like, who's that? I'm like, an old friend dated my buddy.
I was dating a girl when I first got to LA, and we've been dating for a while. And then it kind of wasn't going well, but I never really broke it off. We were still hanging out. And then I had a girl in my car, and she saw me and turned her car around and followed me right to my place. And I got out of the car with the girl I was with, and I go, hey, and I go to hug her, and she goes, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeesh.
What are you doing? Don't touch me. What are you doing with this person? And she basically made me break up with her right there in front of the girl I was with.
Type move.
Yeah, it was rough.
One time in college, I got drunk. I had two girlfriends. One lived out of state, and one lived in state, and I was in college. And this one, you had the flip phones, and I thought I was smooth. And I had I'm not talking dating. I'm talking 2 long-term relationships with girls. And I had her name saved as Rob in my phone, and I got shit drunk. I got in a fight and got shit drunk, and I need her to come get me. And so I'm in my bed. She's taking care of me, and Rob keeps calling. And I'm like, I'm starting to sober up, and she's like, who the fuck? I hear her go, who the fuck is Rob? But I'm out of it. I'm like, God, just quit calling. She answered it. She's like, Rob? And I'm like, and they talk for probably, I don't know, an hour and a half.
Oh, that's a
but
big
they think I'm passed out drunk. But I'm wide awake with one eye open. Listen to the whole conversation.
Here comes the storm.
Well, and then she goes, no. Yeah. And I hear him like talking shit about me. She's like, no, when he sobers up and wakes up, we're fucking getting on this call. We're going to talk this over. Hang up. So I fake like I had like alcohol poisoning. I was like fake throwing up. And I can't deal with this. I thought I'd act like I had alcohol poison. Takes me to the emergency room. Took a little too far. Get to the emergency room. The doctor's like, you're just hungover. Bad idea, man. Lost both girls.
I'm going to tell a dirtbag story about myself.
Please do.
My second year of Mad TV, there are these 2 hot sisters. And the one sister and I hit it off.
Out.
We go to my dressing room. We're making out. It's hot. And then I'm with her and her sister and a couple other friends. And we go, let's go to the beach. I used to live right on the beach. We'll go to the beach. We'll go. I'll take everybody to dinner. We'll go to the beach. So it's like a great night. And I'm hanging out with this girl. And it's like, it's done, right?
The best.
Oh, the best. But her
best.
sister's super hot. So.
Are they twins?
No, her sister's younger by a year. So they're both really hot. So I don't know how this happens, but we're on the beach. We're on the beach, and the one sister is like giving me business, and there's this thing, and then her other sister goes to make a phone call, and somehow now I'm on the beach with the sister, and my friends are like playing with my dogs down by the shoreline, and so now she and I are out in the middle of the beach, and it's dark, and we have sex. I was young. So we just had sex standing right there at the beach.
Okay.
But this is her sister. I'm hooking up with her other
shitty sister.
Yeah. Right. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I'm like, well, here goes. I'm fucking an idiot. And I'm like, ugh. All of a sudden, she starts talking to, now I go back to the other sister because it's awkward. I'm like,
you're still on the beach, you're back in the house.
We're back in the house.
Okay.
We're actually back in the house.
So you got that fresh, wet dick. You put it right back in your pants. Walk right back in the house.
Yes.
It's a mess in your pants.
Now everybody's together.
Yes.
Now everybody's together.
The sister's cool, though, but she's not telling the other sister yet.
Now the younger sister, for whatever reason, starts to flip out because she sees I'm with her sister, and she starts to cry and get weird. Guess what? They start talking to each other. The other sister goes downstairs, and her friend goes with her. And I'm like, this is weird. What's going on? And then they start talking on the phone. They start talking on their flip phones. Remember, it was a long time ago. Flip phones.
Texting?
Nobody had. I think I just gotten my first second cell phone. No, there's no texting then. They were talking, and she goes, I see she's talking to her sister, and she just goes, "Oh, are you kidding?" And she looks at me. She goes, and she points at me. She goes, "Ugh." And she goes, "You're fucking disgusting." And I go,
You're like, come on, girl. I was going to take you to RoboCop this weekend.
So I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't know how you
school.
felt. She goes, you didn't know how you felt. We've been making out, we've been hanging out, and you have sex with my sister. I go, well, she's the one who, and she goes, she didn't do anything. She's younger. You should know. And I was like, oh, yeah, I feel bad. Anyway, long story short.
She took off?
Long story short.
You glazed her buns?
Yeah, long story short.
You glazed some buns?
Man.
I don't want to adapt like two fucking teenagers.
Now, me and her went to the beach. Me and the other sister went to the beach, and on the lifeguard stand.
And you got your long john.
Yeah, we did some
filled
stuff.
with cream.
I feel like I'm going to pay for these terrible stories.
Why?
Of being a dirtbag. But
that
I was young.
Years ago.
Yeah.
I was super young.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're in a relationship, you're in college, have some fun. It's not going to work out. I'm going to do you solid. You ain't.
I've just never been uptight about that stuff. It's like, can we all just relax and have a good time?
Can't we all just be friends?
Although you have to be careful.
So I had 2 girlfriends. I loved both of you.
But these dudes who, like my one buddy who had a girl on his phone. He has his girlfriend that he's living with, and he had this other girl that he just couldn't, stop. She was crazy, and she was in his phone as like Ted Stevens.
Yeah. Why is Ted trying to FaceTime
bullshit?
Me? Why is Subway always FaceTime?
Just don't have a bad name like Ted Johnson or Freddie.
Why is Starbucks Venice always FaceTiming
Stevens,
you?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Exactly.
I've never. That's a great idea. Putting them in as like a restaurant or something, rather than just the guy. Like the
well,
generic
that's also
guy's name.
It's a bad
suspect,
idea
too.
when they
That's a
FaceTime you.
hilarious move.
Why the fuck is Scopa FaceTiming you?
Oh, look.
Why were you?
Pizza.
Why is Starbucks? Why is Starbucks the company calling you?
That. You just stole my line.
As long as they don't FaceTime you, that's tight though.
Why is
That's pretty
Wingstop FaceTiming at 2 in the morning?
FaceTime is creepy to begin with.
Yeah, it is.
FaceTime is weird.
Don't
I don't know why
FaceTime me.
girls.
Unless you want to
FaceTime you.
unless you want to do dirty stuff.
Yeah, unless you want to see some dirty stuff, don't FaceTime me. Next question.
Yeah. Next question. Let's go to Leon Decker. I really need to lie to someone and get away with it. Since you two are both bona fide liars, how do I pull this off?
Wait, what?
He wants to lie and get away with it?
Yeah.
Lying is stressful, man.
You're talking a couple 1-2 liars. Now, listen.
Yeah, but don't lie about the big stuff.
Yeah, because you
lie
can
about
never
big
go
stuff.
wrong with the truth. When you lie, it's going to catch up with you eventually. Because you
My-
don't remember your lie.
I lie to save
Believe me,
people's
I've been
feelings.
caught.
Yeah, we lie to save people's feelings, but don't lie about big stuff. Don't lie to yourself.
Serious stuff.
Don't lie to the people you love. That's where you pay a fucking
Dude,
price.
you got to give us more information. You got to tell us what the context of the lie is.
Let's just go with it. A middle of the road. He's in trouble, or he needs to bullshit his girlfriend.
Don't hurt her feelings. That's the main thing. Like,
Don't
you're
hurt her
gonna lie.
feelings and how long you've been dating, how serious do you live together. If you're just dating, go ahead and lie.
This is the way I
Do
look
you get
at it.
specific with your lie,
Here's-
or do you stay broad?
You got to stay very general because they ask you down the road. You got to remember that shit.
Yeah.
That's why the truth is the way to go, my man.
Yeah, because the problem is, okay, if you're gonna lie, like we've all lied. Like say you fucked up and you liked this girl a lot, but you messed up and you had sex with some girl or whatever, and you didn't. It's just like you were drunk, whatever. I can understand if she says, "Did you cheat on me?" and you say no because you really care about her and no good is gonna come out of it. But the problem with that
Sometimes
is that,
a lie will help you.
yeah, that we all know that there are times to lie that way, but I just think that I just see people that lie. They're lying about the big things in their life. They're lying to their friends. They're lying to the people that really matter to them, to their family. It's
called a compulsive liar.
That's a really hard thing. That's
You don't want
exhausting.
friends like
That's
that.
exhausting, and you're gonna get found out.
Super exhausting.
You're gonna get found out, man. Don't lie to yourself, I guess, right?
I don't even know what that means, but we need the context of the lie. Next
Yeah.
question.
All right. Next question comes from Words and F. Who do you think would win in a fight between Tom Segura's black guy or Bryan Callen's Scottish guy?
Well, we already saw
Scottish
that.
guy,
Tom
Scottish guy.
Segura's black guy one.
That was funny.
Horrible question. You guys are better than this, by the way, whoever picked these questions.
Can
That
we
would be
answer
me.
What about the Instagram picture question?
That's what we're doing.
These are from
These
Instagram.
are
Oh,
Evan
I'm
just
sorry.
picked a shitty one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shizery Dizzery Doc. Any beast athletes like LeBron that would make good fighters? What non-combat sport makes the best fighters? I think we've talked about the first part of that
You're
question
better than
before.
this, Evan.
What non-combat sport makes the best fighters, though?
Basketball?
No, not at all. They're pussies. Football, obviously.
That's a contact sport.
No, not non-contact, non-combat.
Non-combat.
I would say football though is.
We've said this a million times.
Yeah, but I mean, a guy like.
Football by far.
Hmm?
Football. They're not even close.
All right, next one. This one's from Dane Woodward. Do you guys think it's okay to pee in the shower?
Yes, of course I do.
Of course, I'm American. I deserve that right.
I feel like a lot of people think it's gross and unsanitary.
I piss in the shower on purpose.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you pee in the shower?
If you're by yourself.
What's the big deal?
Yeah.
It goes down with the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a dumb question. Keep going.
I saw some good questions on there, Evan.
Dude, I don't
Peeing in the
know
shower,
what
brother?
other ones you're talking about.
I have one.
Go for it.
okay.
If you had to choose one, would you rather have a penis on your forehead or ass on your chin?
Ass on my chin.
Ass on my chin.
Uriah
like Uriah
Faber has an
Faber.
ass on his
Uriah
chin. He's
Faber.
a stud.
Yeah.
No, like a. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to poo out of my chin.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Callan on that. Let's do two more.
If you guys all won $100 million each, who would you share it with and how much would you share with them? Hashtag dumb as fuck question.
Well, $100 million.
Taxes. Looking at 80, 75 mil,
Probably closer to 65.
70.
And then I would, you put it in the bank. You're making interest in a good portfolio. There are people I give money to.
My family, that's it.
Yeah.
Just my family.
If I had that much money, I would fly first class constantly, and I would not a lot would change.
No, I'd buy a private jet. Fuck first class.
Private jets are expensive.
You can lease them for
Yeah.
fuel time.
Yeah, you lease them.
Yeah.
Do a timeshare.
I give my family money, that's it.
All right. This was from Quinstagram 1990. If you had to have a threesome with two other people from the usual Studio 4, which two would you pick?
Wait, what?
You have to have a threesome with
Just us?
us in this room. Who do you pick?
God.
Keely, of course.
Well, just me and Keely. Is that an option?
I
No.
don't want you in my threesome, bro.
Well, but it has to be 3. So it's either me or Evan. Or you're just gay. We find out you're gay as fuck, and it's me, Evan, and you.
Hey guys, what do we do?
What do we do? Just a couple of wild
Hey
guys.
guys, what's going on?
A couple of lounge lizards. Bro, when we were in Scope and you kept saying lounge lizards,
We're
again,
laughing
I
so
could
hard.
not stop laughing. I want to make a lounge lizard shirt
Lounge
now. Abbott
lizard.
Kenny lounge lizards. Could not stop laughing. Immature. Last question. Go.
Who is it? Did you even answer that?
I mean, it's very obvious.
There's one
go-
girl here.
There's only one girl
You
here.
you two are staying together then?
I guess. I mean, it's fine. I've seen his dong before.
Yeah,
I guess the weirder part of that question is where do the two of us go?
You hold the video.
Do I go?
Obviously.
Obviously. What the fuck?
You're obviously an amateur at this.
Come on, bro.
No, do I take Bryan as the guy or you as the guy?
Oh, take
That's
me
up to
because
you.
Where's my guy?
We work better because we're the same kind of size. Otherwise, you got.
It's probably I'd probably
It's all
go with Bryan,
lopsided,
even
the
though he's
seesaw
packing.
effect.
Even though he's packing the most heat in this room,
Yeah.
I'd probably go with
He's
Bryan.
not a threat, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yours
gonna
too
look
big.
weird if
you
it's
take
you
up
and me.
you take up too much room in there.
Yeah.
Too much room.
It's gonna get hot, and I'm a freak. It's gonna get hot.
Yeah.
Gonna get hot.
Hate to do this to you, but
You're kicking me out?
Oh God, what?
Well, you got to kick one of us out.
Keely, take your time. Keely, look at my eyes.
Now, Keely, before you pick,
look at my
look at
eyes.
me. Look at me.
Keely, take
Counts
your
old
time.
as fuck.
Keely.
And he's
Lot-
super creepy. And usually his breasts are pretty hot. lately.
A lot of respect. I mean, a lot of experience.
I'll give you that. You're the grateful type. You're gonna take care of them.
I'm a dirty pig.
That's why we make the perfect
I'm a
team.
dirty old-
Evan,
I'm
I
a
can't
dirty
speak
old
of.
wrinkly
I'm
pig.
not sure.
You gotta have.
Evan looks like he's a little bit in a dominatrix. I feel
Hold on,
like
hold
he's
on.
gonna slap your face.
I'll make her
pretty
mind
hard.
up. Ready?
Ew.
I'm a dirty wrinkly pig.
I
Don't you want
know
some of
if
this
I could
dirty
hang
wrinkly?
with-
Please stop doing that.
Stop.
It's getting her hot.
No, she's not gonna pick, man. For some reason, this is Howard Stern finding the kid. For some reason,
Well,
Yeah, sorry, Bryan.
count
Keely.
it out. It's because he's old as shit.
Keely, what the fuck? What is it? The married and the 48.
It's because he's married and old. And
Married and
bald,
Yeah, that's
old.
why. That's the reason.
and he's gonna pre-ejaculate, and you need Just she picks you, you're like, oh God.
I'm a wrinkly pig.
God, quit doing that. Fighting the Kid fans, we will be in San Francisco Thursday through Sunday. Hit us up if you're out there. Women only, please.
Punchline.
Bryan will be there. I will be at only probably one of his shows.
Yeah.
I won't be at every one.
No.
I'll tweet which one I'll be at so I can meet you
Yeah,
guys.
bring Jake Shields.
We'll see.
He likes comedy, doesn't he?
Yeah, we'll see, man.
We'll bring anybody you want from the gym.
Yeah, we'll talk about this off air.
Okay. All right, kids. Sorry about today's podcast. There was too much information, I feel.
It was the Howard and Stern Fighting the Kid edition. Jesus. Hope you guys like it. The website where you can get everything, the full podcast videos, gallery exclusive pictures, merchandise. We got it all there. TFATK.com. This is the Fighter and the Kid. We're out.